Right, here we go. Hello and welcome to FPL Mate. It is officially deadline day for the final time. Hang on. For the final time this season. Wow. What amazing news. I say it's amazing news because honestly, like I know some people have been like, oh, this season has gone by so fast. And I get it. However, I feel like the last couple of weeks have dragged a little bit. So I can't lie. In a way, I'm looking forward to a bit of a break from FPL and on to World Cup fantasy, to be totally honest. But the deadline is in just under 3 hours' time. Welcome, everyone. Throughout today's stream, we're going to be answering your questions over the next pretty much 3 hours. And of course, if there are any team leaks, we will be sharing them. And we are also expecting, or hoping rather, I have asked the question, for some Liverpool team leaks. Exclusive Liverpool team leaks that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. So how about that? Hey, it's not bad, is it? It's not bad. But hopefully we'll also get Man City leaks. They often come out online, maybe 5-10 minutes before deadline, which is a pain, and the website might crash and it'll be a disaster. But I think I'm hoping we'll get some Man City. I don't know if we'll get some Arsenal. We're going to keep an eye on the bookmakers odds, because often the bookmakers odds often kind of give suggestions as to what's happening with lineups and stuff. So for example, a few times we've seen that there's been some secret leaks that haven't been made public, and it's reflected in the bookmakers odds before it becomes public. So for example, you might see Man City, suddenly their expected goals or the goal projections in the bookmakers odds might suddenly take a big dip. And if that's the case, then that's probably a good sign that Haaland isn't starting. But if the goal scoring odds, the XG odds, or the projected goals rather, if those odds remain high and true, that's probably a good sign that that Haaland's going to start. So we're going to keep an eye on that for the next couple of hours and see what happens. Comedy Addict in the chat says Saka 0% chance to start. I wouldn't say 0%, but like, yeah, close to, to be honest. It's not super likely, is it, to expect, I guess, Saka to start. So I'm not expecting that. There'll be a lot of other questions about who do we think is going to start. We can obviously give our opinions on various things. Rocking Gaming in the chat has said, do you think Dubravka starts? I'm in two minds on this one. Not in in this morning's video, I did say that I think it's highly unlikely that Dubravka starts, but I didn't really consider that this is Dubravka's last game for the club. Now, how much that factors in, considering that Dubravka is not like, he is like a Burnley legend or anything like that. He's been at the club for 1 year. He had a 1 year, free transfer contract to play for Burnley this season. And he hasn't been playing the last couple of games as Burnley look to plan for the future with their younger goalkeeper, whose name is Max Weiss. Is that right? Max Weiss, who is, a younger German guy. And I think he's seen as the long-term solution to that Burnley goalkeeper slot. And as such, he's been given the minutes now to prepare him for life in Championship, perhaps. Well, there you go. Nobody made a list of World Cup players who have nothing to play for. Yeah, okay. It's an interesting point. I don't know how many players will be missing because of the World Cup necessarily. There might be a few here and there for those teams that have nothing to play for. Like, for example, you can imagine Cunha potentially not starting this game week, for example. But, yeah, I don't think there's that many. I don't think there's going to be that many. Because if you're thinking about the teams, who have players who are going to go and play in Europe, so you say Arsenal have a few players there, But I think, some of the Arsenal players are going to play, with Champions League is the more important thing for Arsenal, not the World Cup. Then you've got Man City. I think Pep Guardiola will be looking to go out with a bang. And I think a lot of players will actually be quite keen to play in Pep Guardiola's final game for Man City as well. So I'm not sure if that will impact things too much. And then you've got, after that, Manchester United. Again, yeah, maybe Cunha, but Bruno's going to want to play. We've got a Hull City fan in the chat. Velo says, Hull City fan here, so excited for next FPL season. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious. Right now, I'm not super convinced by this whole side, but apparently you guys have got money to spend, so we could see the new Sunderland in the Premier League next season if everything kind of clicks. So we'll think about that. Do you think Saliba plays? Says John Joe. I'm kind of on the fence with Saliba. Kind of on the fence. I think he's kind of a 50-50 kind of player. Whether he's going to start or not, to be honest. I think Gabriel more likely to start than Saliba. But to be fair, with those centre-backs in particular, defenders in general maybe, I think they're worth starting because more often than not, if a defender is benched, they stay benched. The real worry is players like Saka and Cherki and Gyökeres, maybe Semenyo as well. And these players, starting on the bench and then getting subbed on for those 1-pointers, which is the last thing you want in the final game week of the season, to be kind of hampered with a 1-point player in your FPL team. It's just not what we want at all, is it? Gehi and Semenyo thoughts? I'm not sure, because in one way, I think, with this being Pep Guardiola's final game, I wonder if he may look to play players for sentimental reasons. So players who have been kind of long-standing, pillars of this Pep Guardiola team. And given that Gehi and Semenyo only joined in January, I don't know if those players necessarily count as, those long-term sentimental Pep Guardiola players. Now, of course, they've got a good chance. But you do think that John Stones will start, for example, final game for Man City. So that's going to be one of the centre-backs. Who's going to be the other centre-back? Is it going to be Gvardiol? Is it going to be Diaz, who have obviously been with the club a little bit longer? Or is it going to be Gehi? Or is it going to be Kusanov as well? Got to remember Kusanov. But I imagine right centre-back will be John Stones. Left centre-back, Gehi, Ruben Dias, Gvardiol, I think are all in contention a little bit there. So, Gehi's certainly not a guaranteed starter this week. Semenyo is a slightly more interesting one, because if you think Doku's going to play on the left wing, on the right wing, who's going to play there? Probably not going to be Savinho, to be honest, given not a great performance the other day. Could it just be Semenyo? Could it be someone else? Phil Foden on the wing? I know he's not really a winger, is he? Could Foden go through the middle? Cherki on the right? I don't know, man, honestly. Is Stones not injured? No, Stones is available. He's just not been playing. But I think he'll start today. Or if he doesn't start, I think he gets some minutes, decent minutes, maybe. It would be a shame if Stones, on his final game for City, played like a few minutes at the end, wouldn't it? FPL Joe's in the chat. We're going to be keeping a close eye on your website today, Joe, I think. In fact, let me get it loaded up. Because we're going to be keeping an eye on some odds today. I'll get that loaded up, ready to go for when we need to take a look at that. Saka, Cherki, or Pedro, one transfer left. I mean, look, I will say this right now. I don't really recommend making any transfers right now, unless you're not going to be around, within half an hour of the deadline, maybe even 15 minutes before the deadline. Then honestly, I think we just got to keep an eye on leaks, keep an eye on the odds changing throughout this early afternoon. And I think really now is a better time, unless you're not going to be around for deadline. For example, if you're in Australia right now, anyone in Australia or New Zealand right now, or maybe East or Southeast Asia, it might be pretty late for you already So the deadline might be crazy late, and you might want to be going to bed or work. You know, some people will be working. Those of you guys who are in Australia, what time is the deadline going to be for you this game week? Let me know which city you are as well. 8:40 p.m. in Brisbane. That's not too bad. So, you know, 11:30. Actually, I say that. In the UK, it's a bank holiday tomorrow. So no school, no work or anything for people tomorrow, for a lot of people tomorrow. So, yeah, it's gonna be easy to stay up a little bit later for people in the UK. Not that we need to, but of course, bank holidays, or I don't know, what would you even call them? Are they national holidays in other countries? I don't know, but there's no work or school tomorrow. Can't believe for the last stream of the season you don't wear a football shirt. I'm going to put a football shirt on. I'm just so hot that I'm just kind of thrown on a t-shirt and haven't really brought myself to put on a football shirt because it's just going to be so sticky. It's so hot in the UK, guys. If those of you guys in the UK will know already, but it's hot, and these houses are just not built for this. Where's the suit? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? It's let's see. Actually, let me see how hot it is right here, right now. Okay, so it's 26 degrees Celsius, and it's going to go up to 30 in the next couple of hours. So it's going to go up to 30 degrees Celsius. 26 right now, and this is in a brick house, a heavily insulated brick house, no air conditioning, in a small box room. Brother, try living in Dubai. I wish I was living in Dubai right now because I would be in a lovely air conditioned room. You know, we get 42 in Australia. I know you do, but you also sit in a lovely air conditioned room where you don't feel any of the heat. We have got houses where the heat comes in and the houses are built to stay in. So all of you guys saying, "Oh, that's not that bad. It's really hot in our country too." You honestly, one, you don't have the humidity. Let me tell you, you do not have the humidity in the UK. Our air is so moist. I know some people hate the word moist. Our air is so moist in this country that honestly, I feel like I'm breathing like underwater. Plus, no air conditioning. All of the heat that comes in the house does not, until you come into the UK and experience UK heat. Don't come at me with it's like, I don't know, an Australian 45 degrees Celsius is the same as a UK 30. It's the same. It's the same. I'm telling you. People saying, "Oh, I'm just going to go sit at the pool." We don't have pools in the UK. Why don't you buy a thatched cottage then? You know what? You're so right. I should have done that. I should have thought about that. Yeah. Or just, I don't know, just drill holes in my roof or something for extra ventilation. Yeah. It's only 20 up in Scotland. What? Wow. But anyway, guys, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. It's important in these heats. It's important. But look, I'm not gonna lie. A few of you guys I can see are dealing with some heat of your own. I hope you guys have got air conditioning. That's all I'm gonna say. Can't even open the window because of the pollen. I'm kind of the same, my friend. I've taken my hay fever medication for today. I can't believe how cool it is in Scotland. A cool 20 degrees in Scotland is crazy. You think, like, you know, there's not that much different on the scale of the entire globe. Hang on, I've got a globe here. The globe with a crown on it, no less. On the scale of, here's the UK. From here where I am, like low down in the UK, to Scotland up here, it's like nothing. So how can it be 30 down here and 20 up here? That doesn't make sense. Because I can guarantee you don't go down to France and add an additional 10 degrees. I don't know, man. Maybe someone can explain that one to me. Because I'm clueless. That's the first time in a stream I've whacked out the globe. Never had a use for it before, to be honest. It looks weird now. I put it in a different position. Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know. What would I do with Joao Pedro? Oh, honestly, I know a lot of people are kind of selling Joao Pedro, but I think I would keep and start him, to be honest. I think people are overreacting a little bit because he's been in training. Chelsea, still have a lot to play for. Delap has not really hit the ground running at Chelsea. So Joao Pedro is going to be pretty important, I think, for Chelsea in this final game week of the season. Sorry for starting the first of many heat-related rants to come today. It's fine. We've got a few hours until deadline. Johnny says, I win lowest for 5 degrees. Where are you? Are you in Siberia? Or actually, no, you need to be somewhere in the southern hemisphere, surely. You have to be in like the bottom tip of Argentina or something. I don't know. Anyway, what we got in the chat here, a few people asking for leaks. So nothing verified yet. Seen a few rumors, particularly around Arsenal rotating quite heavily today. But in terms of pinpointing leaks, not really got too much. Not really got too much. So yeah, something to definitely keep an eye on. But hopefully we'll get some news there as well. I've also heard that we think Salah is going to start. We think Salah's going to start, but it's not been verified. I don't even know if the team sheet must be out around about now, but it's not been leaked yet. New Zealand near the Southern Alps, I see. Do you have the Alps in New Zealand? Will Raya start today? Good question. Very good question. I'm leaning towards yes, but honestly, I would not be surprised if Raya did not start. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But the Arsenal clean sheet odds have kept fairly stable over the last couple of days, which to me suggests that defensively Arsenal are going to go, I don't want to say strong, but, at least a few key players there. In terms of the attacking projections for Arsenal, they are dropping. So I'm expecting rotation in attack. Yeah, I think maybe we might see the likes of Madueke, Dalman, Zubamendi probably comes in, gets some minutes. I'm not sure. Let's should we just throw my team on screen just to remind us that it is an FPL stream? Might as well. Am I going to the Emirates today? No, I'm not going to have time. By the time it hits deadline, I mean, I'm not super close to London, so to turn up at the Emirates, is there going to be a big crowd there? Do we think? I don't know. The vibes I don't know if the vibes would be actually at Selhurst Park, to be honest, but I don't know. Can I repeat the Arsenal news? Yeah, very quickly. We don't know anything for sure, but the rumours are currently saying reasonably strong in defence, or they're sort of suggesting reasonably strong in defence, reasonably weak in attack. So we'll see what happens. We think there's going to be a big crowd at the Emirates today. They're celebrating already done. Trophy lift is Crystal Palace. All right, that's drink number 1 done. I actually prepared 3 drinks for today. The Lucozade Sport, the classic orange squash. I got my holy water. I just realised holy water. Holy is the brand. I never made that connection before. And then two snacks, a banana and a satsuma. That's gonna certainly keep me going and for the next few hours. Because of course we'll have to stay on and see all of the actual team news as well. 22 years, the celebrations will be going on for a while. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Porro or Virgil for a hit? It depends who you're selling. I mean, I certainly wouldn't buy Virgil for a hit. Pedro Porro is definitely a defender I like, but depends who you're selling. If you're selling a player who is expected to play for a hit, I'm not really super convinced by that. You're not a fan of coffee? I'm not. I don't do well with caffeine, to be honest. Just makes me all jittery. So, yeah, decaf tea probably every other day. But that's about it. Yeah, tea without the caffeine loses its appeal a little bit, doesn't it? Same with coffee. I don't mind a little iced latte in the summer. Mohammed here says, "Hi Dan, do you expect Sharda and Harry Wilson to start?" It's a bit of a toss-up. I think if I had to predict, I would say both of those players are more likely to start than not, which I don't know if that helps or not. But Harry Wilson, with it being his final game for Fulham before he leaves on a free transfer, and Harry Wilson has put in a good shift for Fulham. He has been a servant to them, particularly this year where he's done really well. I would hope that Harry Wilson does get a send-off. Final game of the season at home. Yeah, and nothing to play for Fulham either. So yeah, I would expect Harry Wilson to start. And if he does, I think he could do quite well. Sharda's an interesting one because it really depends on how how Brentford set up against Liverpool. But even if they go two up front, could be like a Sharda and Thiago front two and Dango on the bench potentially. But I don't know. Certainly both of those players will get minutes, you would have thought. People are forgetting that Spurs are terrible at home. Yeah, okay. Nah. It's different though, isn't it? I think it's very, very difficult to kind of judge Spurs based on pre-De Zerbi times because they have improved. As much as it pains me to say it, they have really improved. Should I take a hit to bring Bowen in selling DCL? For me, no. Dan, will Sarr play? Yeah, in terms of Crystal Palace, really, those main attackers are going to be rested for the Conference League final, which means it's going to be no Sarr, it's going to be no Mateta. Pino is kind of touch and go. And yeah, even some of the defenders, like Adam Wharton, can't see him starting, I don't think. Yeah, even some of the defenders are going to be a little bit tricky, really. Saka to Palmer. Saka to Palmer I don't hate. Joe here says, Fulham moving positively in the markets, but I haven't had much focus on them in recent weeks to know if that's likely to indicate a Wilson start. We would have thought so, given that he's like kind of their definitely their primary attacking outlet, isn't he? Jandre with a super chat here says, "Hi Dan, is Lacroix to Porro worth a transfer, or should I just play Keane or Justin, and which one?" Just want to say thank you for always helping. Good luck. No problem, Jandre, man. Yeah, so Keane I'd be fine with. Justin, I think, has some risk. I wouldn't be super keen to play Justin, to be honest, if possible. Lacroix to Porro, is it worth it? Presuming you have no other issues or have other transfers to deal with other issues, then I think certainly Lacroix to Pedro Porro improves your team. And I do like that transfer, to be fair. Super keen. Yeah, I'm super keen on Super Keen. I say I'm super keen on him. I'm not that keen on him. Like, he's fine as a backup. But that's about it, isn't it? That's about it. I think it's looking likely that my transfer is going to be Saka, but I want to kind of know if Cherky's playing or not first. Because I think if Cherky's not playing, I would rather switch Cherky to another Man City midfielder, then switch Saka to a non-Man City midfielder. Do you like a last punt on Max Dowman? I'm not super keen. To be honest. Top of my mini league, 9 points ahead, 1 free transfer. Do you think Joao Pedro starts? I do. I do think he's more likely to start than not. Saka to Szoboszlai, worth taking a -4 for the extra transfer. I don't think you need to make an extra transfer if we think Joao Pedro is going to start. If I had Joao Pedro, I'd be playing him this week. To be honest, I could have done with having not made the Joao Pedro to Gyökeres transfer, to be honest, because I'd be fine with Joao Pedro this week. I'm more confident in Joao Pedro than I am Gyökeres. Any possibility Lewis Skelly to start? I personally do think Lewis Skelly will start, yeah. And that's only because he was on the bench last game week, and I think he's going to need to build a little bit of rhythm ahead of the Champions League final. So I do think you've got a good chance. Mamke up 5IZ says, I love your buy, sell, keep, avoid videos. They really help me. Can't wait for World Cup Fantasy. Maybe we should do World Cup Fantasy, buy, sell, keep, avoid. I'm looking forward to that. Yes. Giandre says, I certainly have issues. Saka, Cherky, Rogers. Have 3 free transfers, though. Thoughts on Gakpo as a punt? He should start up front. Well, hopefully I'll be able to leak that exact news to you. And I'll be able to tell you exactly where Gakpo is playing. But, yeah, stay tuned for that one. I do like Gakpo as a punt generally, though. I do. Unless Isak is miraculously available, but can I see that happening? I don't know. Why risk him? What's your plan, Dan? My plan is to wait for leaks. What is expected to play mean? Leaks or rumors? Rumors. Unless it says confirmed, it is just a rumor. Yeah. If something is confirmed, I'll say, and I'll write in the text, confirmed. Just so there's no confusion there. FPL Mate, swap Semenyo for Foden, yeah or nah? So difficult to say. It's so difficult to say. I need to throw on a football shirt. It just feels wrong that I'm streaming without wearing a football shirt. What should we wear today? Will it annoy too many people if I put on an Arsenal shirt? I'm going to put one on, and if it annoys you, tell me, and I'll switch it to someone else. Or something else, should I say. Actually, let me throw a couple of choices. I'm going to get a couple of choices for us. What do we like the look of today? Okay. I wore that yesterday. In that case, we have we'll go with 2 choices. 2 choices. I can either wear the lovely Arsenal shirt with Eze on the back, or this, which is actually probably one of, if not my very favourite football shirt at the moment, outside of Arsenal, of course. And that is the Seattle Sounders with the orca on it. Quite nice. Go for Arsenal, you deserve it. Whichever one's coolest. Get your Arsenal shirt on and enjoy being the Premier League champions. You know what? I appreciate you guys. I want to wear the Arsenal shirt, but I just don't. I'm so chronically aware of how much everyone hates Arsenal fans right now that I'm like almost, self-conscious about being too outwardly an Arsenal fan, if that makes sense. Because Arsenal fans online are unbearable. I think we all agree with that one. I think we all agree. It's horrible to be sort of associated with them, to be honest. But I guess that happens with every fandom, right? You always get associated with the most extreme and loud and vocal ones. But I'm just a normal. I'm just normal men. I'm just innocent men. Never says I've been an absolute menace at work. Well worth it. Well, this is my work, so I'm not going to be a menace. There we go. Now watch everyone leave the stream. But anyway, at least we'll make myself at least a little bit smaller on the screen, so you don't just have to stare at a giant Arsenal shirt. There we go. If beer gives you heartburn, you won't stop drinking beer, right? Put on that shirt. Can't make everyone happy. You say that, but if beer was giving me heartburn, I feel like I would probably switch to maybe switch to the shorts. Go for a vodka lemonade or something. What else we got here? West Brom fan here. Keep the Arsenal shirt on FFS. Honestly, I'm glad I'm wearing it with your permission. We'll put it that way. But regardless, don't like Arsenal, but they won, so go for it. It's got to be done, isn't it? Rational Gazer here says, dudes, too poor for membership. Just saying thank you for another season of quality advice. Allows me to focus decision making around family and work. Rational Gazer, thank you, man. Very generous super chat and a very kind message. I see you've got a clippy profile picture as well. That is a real throwback to being a kid on Microsoft Word and it just being like crazy. What do you mean I get to go on this strange electronical device and there's a little paperclip that talks to me and tells me how to use it? Yeah, good times, man, good times. But thank you, Rational Gazer. Glad you've been enjoying the content and yes, long may it continue. Fingers crossed. We've got Oliver here says, Saka to Gibbs White or O'Reilly to Pedro Porro, saying we get no info or leaks. I think if we get no info or leaks, the player who I think is at most danger, certainly out of my players, and I think I have most of the key players that people are worried about, which is never a good thing, but regardless. Can I give Razor a membership or is it random? It is random when you gift a membership. So, yeah, I wish I could gift memberships to specific people. I definitely would do it. But yes, I think, if we get no information, then I really, really doubt Saka starts. I just can't see a world in which Saka starts. It just doesn't seem realistic at all. Like the video for an Arsenal chat. I probably should remind people, if possible, to drop a little like on the stream. It really, really does help out the channel so much. This is for all my sins, my job. So, this is my sole source of income doing these YouTube videos and streams. So, even a little click of the button, a like, does go a very, very long way. Couple of seconds out of your day, and it makes a huge difference. So, thank you so much to everyone who has been leaving likes on the content. You guys are the best. Why not Captain Bruno? He will start and trying to beat the assist record. No, I agree with you. That Bruno looks very good for minutes, and he will be trying to break the assist record. But I think Brighton will also be trying very hard to prevent Bruno from beating that assist record. They have got big things to play for still over at Brighton and Hove Albion. So I like Bruno for his minutes. I like him for his motivation, but I don't really like the opposition. Brighton away, for me, is a very, very tough fixture. And if I think Haaland is going to start against Aston Villa, and I do, that for me is the money game. That's the money game. That's going to be the big scoreline for me. That's going to be, if you're looking for a potential team to go out and score 4 or 5 goals this game week, I think Aston Villa have got a very good chance of completely bottling this game, playing a second string team. Even Emi Martinez broke his finger the other day, so it's not even going to be their star goalkeeper in goal. The H Taylor with the super chat here says, at work, so can't wait for leaks. Think Gabriel is subbed at halftime for Saliba. maybe anything's possible in game week 38, but I wouldn't overthink that one. Sell all Yok, Saka, and Gabriel for -4, or Saka and someone to Palmer and someone for free. I think in terms of who's risky and who isn't, you could well be right with Gabriel and Saliba. Saka is clearly the most worrying player. So Saka, if you can't wait until deadline, Saka to Palmer, I think makes a lot of sense as a transfer. If you like Palmer and you're worried about Saka, and you should be, I think you should be worried about Saka, then that move is great. Done, sorted. If you were to make a double move, however, have you got any interest in Mo Salah? Because if you were to do Gyökeres down to someone a little bit cheaper, maybe that's Bowen, maybe that's someone really cheap like Fleming at Burnley, who I really like as well, then that's actually going to allow you to do Saka to Salah, and that's for free. I think I would forego the Gabriel transfer for a -4, just because in all likeliness, there's not going to be clean sheets, or many clean sheets to come this game week. I think West Ham and Spurs, maybe Man City, are your best chances of clean sheets this week. And honestly, if you've got a Van Hecke or a Keane or someone like that on your bench, then maybe just play them. I can't afford DCL to Bowen. Who do you suggest I bring in? Welbeck ? I do quite like Welbeck this week, but if you're punting game week 38, I would be looking at probably Fleming if you're going a little cheaper at Burnley. Fleming, by the way, for those of you who aren't aware, he is big Burnley man. He does a muscle man celebration. He takes the penalties, and historically like an attacking midfielder, but playing as a forward a lot of the time. So I like the Fleming punt quite a lot. If we think Burnley versus Wolves is going to be a fun game, then in that fixture as a whole, you would probably back Fleming more than any other player on the pitch to score. So I do like him. How many points are a safe lead in a mini league? I would say if you are currently leading your mini league by, I was going to say 25 to 30 points. If you're leading by that much, I think you're on the home stretch. You're pretty much done at this point. Super chat here from the Australia 2010, who says, "Hey mate, massive thank you for your great content this season. The hard work doesn't go unnoticed." Thank you very much, the Australia. Super chat in euros from the Australia. Are you traveling, perhaps? Australians do like to travel in Europe, and vice versa. Europeans like to travel in Australia. But anyway, Bowen or Fleming for my free transfer. Now, the Australia, I would decide this based on whether you are kind of trying to chase or be safe. Your safe bet this week is going to be Bowen. Everyone's buying Bowen. The algorithm merchants are all going to go for Bowen. It's the safe and sensible pick that a lot of people will be going for. But if you want maybe a slightly higher upside, I wonder if Fleming is the guy. I do like Fleming, or maybe Osler as well. Fleming, Osler, Tati, Richarlison as well. These are the forwards I'd be looking at bringing in this week. But yeah, certainly Bowen if you want to go safe. If you're happy with your rank right now, you're winning your mini leagues, you're just looking to kind of consolidate, then Bowen would be my guy. If not, I do like Fleming. Hey Dan, is it worth taking a hit for Virgil van Dijk? Not for me. To be fair, I wouldn't even look to buy Virgil for free. The only two defenders I would consider buying this week, there's literally only two, and that would be Pedro Porro and Konstantinos Mavropanos. Those are the two only defenders I would consider buying this week. And I don't even know if they're worth a hit. If you've got like, I don't know, like I say, Keane, Van Hecke, maybe, I don't know, like a Bijol, or what other centre-backs or defenders do people have in their squads right now? James Hill, Senesi, whatever. I'd be more than happy to play these guys rather than taking a hit for like Poros and Mavropanos. Would you have Haaland and Salah if we get the news that Haaland starts? Yeah, I mean, possibly if we get leaked that both of them are starting. Super chat here from W. Harrison. Well, Harrison, who says, "Hi, mate. Happy Gameweek 38 on a free hit this week." Wow. Look, first of all, very jealous. Very jealous, Mr. Harrison. Any thoughts on a strategy or team? Target a few players with something to play for, or single best players? Should we make a little draft? Let's make a draft. Oh, no, that's not what we want. Fantasy Football Hub. There we go. Right. If we go to team and AI rating. We need to zoom in a little bit here. Is Darlow a doubt? Doubt is probably not the right word. He just might get rotated rather than him being actively a doubt. Like, let's reset this and we'll go from the start. O'Reilly is a risk, no? O'Reilly is a risk, yes. He is indeed. Okay, so based on no information, I'd be looking to go a little something like, and this is where I get a bit stuck, because the problem is I would want Man City attackers, but I wouldn't really know who to go for. So maybe Doku with no. If I had no information, maybe I'll go for Doku. In terms of other forwards, probably Fleming and Bowen play 3-man strike for us. We go Bruno Fernandes and maybe Gibbs White. Maybe. And then what you could do for goalkeepers, if I was on a free hit, I would maybe just go Raya Kepa. It's not the worst idea, is it? Where is Kepa? Kepa Arrizabalaga. If you're on a free hit, that might not be the worst play. Just kind of cover yourself. Like, the worst case scenario was if they play like 45 minutes each, but surely not. Okay, and from there, oh my god, I forgot to release my flavor pod. After that, where do you go? Maybe a double up on a defense here. Maybe a Juf or a Danso. Maybe go for Defcon Dance. And then we'll just put in, like, I don't know, Juf and another random defender. Don't really know. Let's just go. No, Van der Ven. Gonna put him on the bench anyway. And then one more midfielder. Szoboszlai. People are saying Virgil van Dijk, but honestly, maybe on the bench. I would not be looking to start Van Dijk. He scored 2 goals last game week. Oh, wait, we're way over budget. Okay, we're way over budget here. Okay, how are we going to cut the budget here? Maybe Bruno's got to go. Bruno might have to go here. Let's see. Let's find like a cheap midfielder to just chuck in. Oh, Anthony. Anthony's a great shout, actually. Okay, so I'd be looking at something like this. That's what, yeah, you know what? I like that. Ducko ain't starting. Okay. I think he, based on no information, I think he will. So there you go. If you're looking for a free hit team for this week, this I like. This I do like a lot, actually. And this is a smart team. But again, it's based on no leaks, no additional information. What do we think? Osler's cheap. He is, but I think, you know, Haaland and Bowen are going to go in there, and then you're kind of between Fleming and Osler, aren't you? Vets or Soboslai? Soboslai is more secure for minutes. That's all I'll say on that. Just checking out if any leaks yet. It doesn't look like it. We are perhaps a little early in the day, but of course I will keep you abreast of any news. Should I take a -4 Tarkovsky for Mavropanos? No. No. I would not do it. Cheers, mate. Much appreciated. No problem, my friend. And hopefully you like the team. I mean, I do like this team a lot. I'm jealous of this team, in fact. I'm jealous. It hits a lot of the marks. It is super differential, though, isn't it? Really, really differential. Fernandes instead of Salah? I mean, if you wanted to, I guess. Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, you'd be able to fit them all in, wouldn't you? But I think I do. If I had a choice this week, and if I wanted to go a bit different, I'd just go Salah over Bruno. But yeah, if you're protecting, you just want to play it safe, then yeah, of course, Bruno is got to be in your team because so many people will have him. Tom says, thinking about swapping Bruno for Salah. The romantic in me reckons Salah scores a bunch in his last game. Look, if you want to take a risk and you have no other kind of issues in your team, by all means. But the sorry truth is that most people are going to have bigger issues than Bruno Fernandes. Only thoughts are Richarlison up top with something to play for, and Hinchelwood for the same reason. Hinchelwood, I don't mind, to be fair. My one concern with Richarlison, I know he's very popular. I know a lot of people are getting Richarlison, but my honest truth is I am worried a little bit, only because Solanke is fit and available, and one, when both Solanke and Richarlison were both available at the same time, De Zerbi was picking Solanke every time. And two, given that this is such an important game for Spurs, do you play the sensible, secure, hold-up play, happy to drop in deep Solanke, who maybe is not fully fit right now, but is certainly your more sensible guy, or do you play a Richarlison who is not going to drop in as deep and link up play quite as well? Bit of a hothead, you know, you're never fully sure. Bit of a wild card type player, if you like, and maybe a little bit less reliable. Brilliant on his day, of course, absolutely brilliant on his day, but maybe a little less of a sensible player. Like, in such an important game, is there a chance that actually Solanke plays over Richarlison? I think it's more likely that Richarlison starts over Solanke. But what, you know, if we're realistically to put kind of a chance on Solanke starting over Richarlison, what are we looking at? 20% chance Solanke starts? Is that enough to kind of put you off buying? For me, it would be. Richarlison against Everton will have that extra bit of motivation. Yeah, no, of course, of course. And I expect Richarlison to maybe get minutes regardless. You know, whether that's starting or off the bench. But I think the motivation for Spurs to do well in this game is probably beats out Richarlison. And, you know, a lot of people are still not mentioning a lot of people have been saying, yes, Spurs need to win, Spurs need to win, Spurs need to win. Okay, technically they need to win to be mathematically safe, but actually a 0-0 draw suits Spurs quite nicely, actually, because it would require that West Ham win something like 11-0 to stay up. So, I do wonder if Spurs could go quite, try and, be a bit of more defense first. And there's no doubt if you're going defense first, you play Solanke ahead of Richarlison if he's a fit. If he's a fit, if he is fit. So yeah, some worry there. Andy Rue says, thanks for the Brill content this season, fella. Like an out of work plumber, I'm praying for leaks. Hey, me too, man. Harrison here says, I'm also a West Ham fan, so as bad as my team does, I'm loading up on Spurs. Ah, I see. So you're kind of hedging your bets a little bit there. I get it. Good afternoon, Christopher. Samrat here says, brother, for winning mini league, I've gone for -8 for Szoboszlai and Semenyo for Saka and Cherki. Bench boost active, brother. Oh, I mean, it's a big hit. Good luck, my friend. If you own Saka, Trossard, Wilson, and DCL and only one free transfer, what would you do? I keep Wilson, I keep DCL, and I start to worry about Saka and Trossard. Hopefully you can bench one of them and use a transfer on the other. Saka and Trossard are going to be your priority transfers there. Would Semenyo play? Any leaks? No leaks. I'm kind of conflicted on whether Semenyo is going to start or not. Should we check out to see if there's been any changes in the odds? Don't know if FPL Joe's still here, but we're going to use his website. We need to refresh this. Okay. So what have we got here? So here, what we're looking at, just so everyone knows what we're looking at here, is we're looking at the trends in terms of our clean sheet odds getting better, our goal scoring odds getting better, or indeed worse. So, for example, if you look at this Brighton versus Manchester United game, you can see that the clean sheet odds are increasing. The goal odds have not really changed. The goal odds and the clean sheet odds for Manchester United are slowly trending downwards, which suggests that Brighton, well, primarily it suggests that Man United are perhaps resting a few key players in the attacking areas in particular. Arsenal, we've seen Arsenal's projected goals drop significantly over the last, really today, really. And Crystal Palace's clean sheet odds improve significantly. So it seems like, Saka's not going to start. I wonder if it's also going to be no Eze, no Ødegaard. Could it be no Gyökeres? Don't know, man. Hey, Dan, how trustable is Fantasy Football Hub? I just gave my team 100% rating, but I'm not convinced. I mean, look, it's a guide, and you have to remember with these algorithms is that they are just machines. So you do have to factor in kind of the human element a little bit there. Which, does maybe change things a little bit. Jesus up front for Arsenal for his last appearance. Yeah, very possibly, to be fair. Very, very possibly. It is possible. So here are the other ones that we've not scrolled to. Look at this Aston Villa odds, man. Look at these Aston Villa odds. Look at these, man. It's not looking good for Aston Villa. They're dropping and dropping. Man City are improving and improving. This is the fixture to target. It really, really is. The best goal projections here. Could even be the best clean sheet odds now as well. It is. By a little margin there as well. So yeah, Man City with the best clean sheet odds, followed by Spurs and West Ham. I'll just scroll down a little bit more so you can see that. Leeds clean sheet odds are dropping. Their goal odds are dropping. Obviously, they are. You know, we've got some information that Leeds are going to be missing a lot of key players, particularly in midfield. So yeah, West Ham expected to do well there. More goals are being projected in the Liverpool versus Brentford game. Curious to see how this goes. What's the best free hit draft, guys? So this is the free hit draft I made earlier. And it's what I would be looking to build. Something roughly like this, assuming no leaks. But if we get leaks, if we get Man City leaks for attackers, and I'm hoping we will. If we do, if they are anywhere on the internet, we will talk about them here. Triple Man City attack is so on. Or, you know, triple Man City in some way. The Financial Gunner says, new to this channel, are you an Arsenal fan? I am indeed, for all my sins. But I am, hopefully, a rational and level-headed Arsenal fan. So I'm so sorry for non-Arsenal fans. Please don't hate me. I can't help it, man. I can't help it. Like, I loved dinosaurs as a kid, right? And Arsenal had a dinosaur for a mascot. Like, how cool is that when you're a kid? How am I supposed to resist as a child in the early 2000s? Probably early 2000s. The dinosaur, man. So cool. Who would you triple captain? I guess Haaland. Yeah. I mean, who would you triple captain is the same. Well, there's only 1 week, and it's this week. The who to triple captain question is the same as who to captain question, I guess. Should we do a poll? Should we do a captain poll? We can run that for maybe half an hour. Let me know, guys, in the chat who you are captaining this week, and I'll pick out the most popular ones. So just throw a little message in the chat who you are captaining. Is it going to be Bruno? Is it going to be Haaland? Is it going to be Salah? Is it going to be someone else? Maybe I've missed someone out. And we'll throw them all in a nice poll for us today. Lots of Haalands. Bowen. Okay, I didn't even mention Bowen. Christopher thinking about captaining Joao Pedro here as well, which I'm not sure I expected to see, to be honest. But it does seem... Sion says, I disliked by mistake. Sorry. Can't you correct it? Guys, I'm going to need... Zion disliked the stream. I'm going to need a few people to like the stream to kind of make up for Zion's mistake now. Please like. Thank you. So Salah, Bruno, Haaland, and Bowen seem to be the key captains. Why do I keep getting asked where my suit is? I've never worn a suit in a stream before. One, it's way too hot, and two, we're way too informal over here. This is the stream of FPL fun. Plus, you know what? I just hate wearing a suit. Okay, the poll's going in. Who's your Gameweek 38 captain? And the options are Haaland, Bruno Fernandes, Mohamed Salah, and Bowen. Okay. I'm going to put who is your favourite Gameweek 38 captain. Only because I'm only putting 4 options. And you might actually be captaining someone else. So, and apologies to all Americans for my spelling of favourite. Yes, this is the UK spelling of favourite. We add U's in. Or rather, you take away our U's. Why would you do that? Simplifying and standardizing the glorious language. Diogo Valente says that Fernandes was proper Portuguese. Well, we try our best. Well, we don't try our best, actually, but sometimes it's fun to say Fernandes, and sometimes it's fun to say Dish. Rumdish. What other Portuguese players are there? João Felix. You Portuguese man. You have your ways of saying words. I'll say that for sure. Bruno will get his 21st assist today. Good chance. Good chance. USA was saving on print characters, so remove letters. Smart, to be fair. I can't even deny that that's pretty smart. There is a lot of pointless letters in the English language. There's no doubt about it. Real question is, what game will you be watching? I will be in a pub with the most screens in the local area. Whichever pub has the most screens. I think I'm heading over to St. Neots, actually, this afternoon to watch the games there. If anyone is familiar with that area. St. Neots is one of those places in the UK where you think no one has heard of it. No one's going to be from St. Neots or live near St. Neots. And then for some reason, there's always like 3 people who pop up and say, oh, yeah, no, I know St. Neots quite well. It's just one of those places that you shouldn't know. And if you don't, you don't. But if you do, you do. The biggest multi-view. Yeah, whatever is the biggest possible multi-view, that is the multi-view I'll be seeking. Mike says I live in Cranfield, a village just up the road. There you go. There you go. The world is a small place. Jan here says I know St. Neots don't live far from there. There you go. Used to pronounce it St. Newts until corrected at 25. Well, there you go. St. Newts. Where's the W? The W is hopefully coming to my FPL team. Best FPL content creator in the world. I will continue to comment this until I find someone better. Legend, Karan. Legend. I live in Malden, Bedfordshire. Which of the Maldens? Steeple or what's the other one? Steeple, Malden. I can't remember. They're not too, honestly, the Maldens are about 15 minutes from my house. So we're not too far. Well, not too far. Is it worth taking a hit to get Richarlison in over Thiago? No. No is my answer. That's another player. When I was making the 100 experts videos, apologies, guys. I am just going to have my Satsuma just because it's a long stream and I've not eaten. Yeah, Thiago's one of those players who I don't really understand why people are selling him. When I was doing the 100 experts video and kind of going through all the data and entering it in, I was like, why are so many people selling Thiago? Decent. Don't dock yourself, Dan. I don't mind. I'm happy to say I've lived in Bedfordshire and Cambridgeshire all my life. Malden next to Ampthill. Oh, that Malden. That Malden. Yeah. I don't go up Ampthill way very often. Please check the odds and leaks again, bro. I don't think things will change very much in terms of odds. But I will check for leaks. I think we're a little bit early, to be honest. Okay, well, we actually do have something. Manchester City have posted fans will get the chance to give Pep Guardiola, John Stones and Bernardo Silva the send-off they deserved after today's game against Aston Villa. Which, look, I don't know if they're going to be in the team, Bernardo and Stones, but that suggests that they're at least going to be at the stadium, which is a good start, isn't it, for them? A very good start. Beardus, you got the wrong name there, mate. Ninja delete. Right, what we got here? Nah, you're all good. You're all good. It's fine. You're in the correct stream now. That's the most important thing. You've copied and pasted your your message intended to be sent in the other chat. But look, you're in the right chat now. You're in a good place. Who's the best Cherky replacement right now? The problem is, I would want a Man City midfielder. That would be my priority. But there's really no way of guaranteeing which Man City midfielder will be the one to buy. So I don't know, man. I guess based on no information, we're looking at like a Gibbs White, Soberslai, Anthony, Palmer, if you can afford to go to Palmer, possibly. Repent says, thanks, Dan. This is my first time I'm doing a last-minute transfer based on a deadline stream. It's scary stuff, man. You get used to it. Are there usually more clean sheets or goals on the last day of the season? Definitely goals. We typically see around 20% more goals in game week 38 compared to other game weeks. Near enough every time there'll be more goals than the average. There was an exception last season though, where we saw slightly lower goals. Actually, last season's game week 38 was a bit of a letdown, but this season, hopefully, trends will return to as they were. But yeah, we've kind of already seen the beginning of it. Like teams like Nottingham Forest and Manchester United and Aston Villa already playing really, and even Leeds United as well, already kind of set with nothing to play for in game week 37 and, playing very, very open and attacking football because, what have they got to lose? Nothing. They've got nothing to lose. So we've kind of seen a little bit of that already. And we should see more of that this week. Right. Birides says, I missed 0.1 to buy Porro if I buy Bowen. So I leaned either Richarlison and Porro or Bowen and another Spurs defender. If you do really like Bowen, and that's fine if you do, I actually don't think there's much in it between Mavropanos and Pedro Porro. So I know you're probably not super keen on doubling up on West Ham, maybe. But if we're looking at players individually, I prefer Bowen to Richarlison. I just do. But Pedro Porro versus Mavropanos, not much in it. So that does suggest that the combo of Bowen and Mavropanos is better than the combo of Richarlison and Pedro Porro. If that makes sense. But that's just my personal preference. The fact is that all four of those players mentioned are great. They're great picks. They're all good picks. And I happily have them all. But yeah, I think I even prefer Fleming to Richarlison just because more minute security. Is that even true? Is there more minute security? Probably about the same, aren't they? Let's be honest. Danny Boy, when do we usually get the leaks? Well, they can start pouring in really any time. On the final day of the season, they can start pouring in any time, but you'll get the bulk of it in the final 30 minutes. That's when you'll get the majority, but we could get a few trinkets of information before then. Bowen or Gibbs White, if you can only bring in one. I guess, it depends who you're selling. I would make the decision based on selling. Weather strategy. Fernandes is more accustomed to this weather than Haaland. I can't even disagree with you. There. Better or Fleming? Definitely Fleming. Should we do a bench list today, by the way? We could do an early bench list today. Do I play FIFA? Only career mode at the moment. Yeah, didn't massively enjoy Ultimate Team this year. I did play it for a couple of months, but yeah, early bench list today. I think we should. I think we could, and I think we will. Okay, let's have some interactive fun. And I should probably explain the bench lists. Well, you know what? Maybe as a special treat, we will change the bench list so it's not the bench list. Whoa, who's your team on career mode? Who am I playing with at the moment? I've got Feyenoord career. No, sorry, PSV Eindhoven career mode running at the moment. But did an MK Dons one. I did a Bromley one recently. Oh, I'm all over the place. Bench list. Tier list. The tier list. The Gameweek 38 tier list. And copy and paste that into a document so I don't lose it. And I'm going to change this text. Because we're going to do a special treat and we're going to tier list a bunch of players. Forget benching, no benching. Let's just tier list players. You can use it as a bench list. You don't have to. It's for one game week only, so it doesn't matter. There we go. Right, I've even edited the text for you there, guys. What a special treat. Actually foregoing the bench list. What the hell? Sutton Backpacker, what have you done? What have you done? Oh, my word. That is a ridiculous super chat. £50 here from Sutton Backpacker. It says, thank you for another season, Dan. Treat yourself and your partner to a pint on me and donate any of this to a charity or charities of your choice. And thank you once again. I will, Sutton Backpacker. Don't you worry about that, man. Whenever you do send in a super chat, I always make sure a little bit is going to go to charity. And then I might treat myself to a pint in that this afternoon as well. So thank you so much, Sutton Backer. Make sure, guys, you throw a W in the chat for Sutton. W's in the chat for that. Very, 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 very generous. Absolutely amazing stuff. The real winner today. What a legend. Thank you so much. Wilson's replacement, please. I don't think I would replace Wilson, to be honest. I would pretty much straight up just play him. You're going to have bigger issues. There's apparently a Liverpool team leak. Where? Where can I find it? Hang on, I'm just looking this up. I've not got it. Can't see it from any of my trusted sources. I can't find anything. I can't lie. Or anything reliable. Leak from Chris Royce. Let's have a look then. Oh, not this guy. Yeah, okay. Like this guy's blocked. I'm pretty sure the reason I've blocked this guy is because it's a fake leak account. It's just a chancer. I think it is one of those accounts that posts a bunch of stuff and deletes any stuff that's wrong. Yeah, no, not a trustworthy account. Not a trustworthy account. I've gotten blocked, so tells you everything. Bit early for leaks, no. I mean, yes and no. I have had Liverpool leaks this early before, which I have shared with you guys. So it is possible, but it's not an account I trust at all. Okay, right, guys. Bench list. Focus up. We have got a lovely empty list, and I'm prepared to put any player who plays in the Premier League on this list. What am I prepared to put? Look, I mean, I'm prepared to listen to any player to put on the list. Whether I will actually put them on there or not is another question, but I'm prepared to listen to all. So, with that said, last time you can make the joke, never. Don't worry, there will be plenty of time next season. But yes, guys, give me some players. We can put Haaland on there if you want. We can do it. I've seen Haaland mentioned. I've seen O'Reilly mentioned. I've seen Saka mentioned. I'm going to put Calvert-Lewin ahead of Saka. And this is based on no leaks. JJ Alfie says, I'm 9 points away from first. Should I take a -4? Well, JJ Alfie, if you take a -4, you'll be 12 points away from first. So, look, it's difficult because it really depends on who you're taking the -4 to do. If you're selling players who are perfectly good to play and good to start this week, just not worth a -4. The only players I'd really realistically take a -4 for would be players who I think, have no chance of playing or have a very low chance, or even like an average chance, like a 50-50 chance at best. I would be selling those kind of players for a -4. Or if it's, for structural reasons. Dan Cross is in the chat. Hello, mate. It's been a while. It's been a minute, but welcome. I'm surprised you're not on your way to meet Stan. Or maybe you are. I've got Saka, Gyökeres, and Gabriel O'Reilly. Yeah, I mean, though certainly Saka is troublesome, and Gyökeres is potentially troublesome. So if you're going to take a -4, it will be to remove Saka and Gyökeres for me. I don't think I'd take a -4 for a defender. So if a defender is part of your -4, I don't think I'd do it. I will be just having some lunch. Fair enough. I don't know if I'm going. I don't know if I'm going yet. I certainly won't be there for the games, but I might head over after. Let's put some more players on the bench list. Would I play Cherky over Calvert-Lewin? Would I take that risk? Based on no information, I think I would take the risk. Wilson. Honestly, Wilson, I'm fairly happy to put up here. I know some people aren't keen on Wilson, and I'm going to put Thiago somewhere up here as well. Put Thiago here. Semenyo is going to go here, I think. Lacroix, bottom of the barrel. What information do we have regarding DCL? Nothing. We don't have anything. I think there's a small chance DCL gets rested, benched in a meaningless game. But I think, in all honesty, Calvert-Lewin probably starts. Is Joao Pedro expected to either start or not play at all? I think he's going to start. I think he's been in training for the last couple of days. So I really do think Joao Pedro is going to play. I'm going to put him on the bench list. I'm going to put him here. I'm going to keep his injury flag on him there, though. Verbruggen can certainly go here. He's on his own right now. Again, though, I'm going to put Verbruggen ahead of Darlow. I'm just going to put Raya ahead of both. But I would caveat that with, if you're captaining Bruno Fernandes, or maybe have a couple of Man United attackers, and maybe you have no West Ham attack, then I would maybe be tempted to play Darlow ahead of Verbruggen. But like, if we're just looking at the individuals, I would predict, I'd be more happy to predict Verbruggen to get more points than Darlow. Do I think Raya is going to start? I do think it's more likely Raya starts than not, yeah. But yes, it's by no means a guarantee. It's absolutely by no means a guarantee. Why is Bruno not a better captain than Haaland as he's going for assist record? Every player is going for something. Haaland is, maybe Haaland's going for the goal record. And that's going to be worth more than any Bruno goals. The difficulty is with Bruno is that he's playing away against a very good defense that is highly motivated. Haaland is playing against a pretty weak defense that will massively rotate and have nothing to play for, and should be an open and interesting game. So I think that's the major difference. If it were the other way around, if Bruno was playing Aston Villa and Haaland was playing Brighton, I would be captaining Bruno. As simple as that. Palmer, I don't mind Palmer this week. I thought he played okay last game week against Spurs. We played okay. So we'll put him there. Raya playing for a clean sheet. Yeah, they've got the Arsenal's internal Premier League clean sheet record among goalkeepers. What about Dubravka? Will he start, or has he lost his starting position? He's not so much he's lost his starting position. It's more that, he was only there temporarily, and Burnley kind of planning for the future. They could give Dubravka a send-off game, considering it doesn't look like he's renewing his contract. But at the same time, do you give a send-off farewell start to a player who's only been at the club for 10 months? Probably not. So probably just be Max Weiss, the long-term Burnley goalkeeper, who starts again this week, in my opinion. Hill and Van Hecke. Okay, so I think Hill goes above Saka. I'm going to put Van Hecke below Saka. Rice. I'm worried about Rice. Maybe, would I put him even lower than Saka? Probably would. At least Saka could maybe get someone off the bench, or just get rotated. If Rice comes off the bench, he's 1 pointer, right? What about Canvo? Stick him next to Lacroix. Although I do think Canvo more likely to start than Lacroix this game. Just because Lacroix took a bit of a knock last game week, didn't he? Gabriel, I'd be looking to start. Going to throw him here. Saliba is going to go... A little bit lower than Gabriel, I think. I'm going to throw him in above Hill, though. Or am I? No, I'm not, because Hills can get Defcon, at least. I will throw him above Saka. Sutton Packbacker with the message here. Also, is the trophy lift before or after the Palace game? Because if it's before, surely a lot of the first teamers will start just for that. No, it'll be after, right? It'll be the Guard of Honor before, and then the trophy lift after, I believe. That's how it usually is. But honestly, I've not checked to see if they're doing anything different or anything like that. Where do you get the team leaks? So some team leaks I'll just get messaged to me through accounts that I trust, and have been reliable in the past, from people I trust. And the other way is sometimes they just get posted online, and if you know the right people to follow and take note of, then you can get some good leaks that way as well. But there's a lot of misinformation that will go around today, a lot of it. So you really do need to be very, very careful who and what you believe. Okay. How does Hincapie not have a groin injury after that slide last week? Yeah, I don't know. Gross and Hinchelwood, these kind of players I like this week. Maybe put them above O'Reilly. I'm going to put both of them above. I'm going to put Hinchelwood above Gross, though. Would Welbeck start? Yeah. And I can put him on the bench list as well. I'm quite keen on Welbeck. I'm going to put him here. Trossard, I'm not keen on. I put them lower than look. You know what? I'm going to put Trossard all the way down here. He's got 1 point written all over him. Gibbs White. Gibbs White's going to go reasonably high for me. I'm going to put him above Wilson and below Palmer, I think. Scott and Gomez are a little differential, so I'm not going to put them on. However, I would be looking to play Scott for sure. Gomez is a little riskier. Osula, yeah, like Osula. I'm going to put him up kind of in a similar area to Welbeck, I think. Dewsbury Hall, Shrewsbury, Dewsbury. Some people might remember that reference. Shrewsbury, Dewsbury. Where is he going to go? Going to go... Got a team leak from Ricky Tamir who says, Team leak, Foden may or may not start. Never have truer words been said, Ricky. Never have truer words been said. Well played. Let's check out Shrewsbury Dewsbury on the bench list. Or on the tier list, I guess. I'm struggling to place him, to be honest. I think he goes below the Brighton attackers, probably below O'Reilly, probably below Gabriel. Given that his minutes are more secure than Cherky, maybe he goes in here. But Cherky, if he does start, is great. So I'm going to put Dewsbury Hall here. Ryan or Tavernier. If I'm picking new, I'm going Ryan, I think. Michael Keane on the list. Yeah, Michael Keane can go pretty low, but, you know, he can go somewhere. Maybe here. At least he's going to play. Doku, based on no information, I quite like Doku. I'm going to put him above Semenyo. Based on no information. Is the World Cup going to have a fantasy? It is. It is. Or at least we think it is. Based, you know, there's been some murmurings already that World Cup fantasy is on its way. And certainly, you know, we'll be running a league. We'll be making plenty of content around it as well. So look forward to that. Right, Gyökeres. Any goalkeepers that you guys have? Might need to throw Dubravka on there. Bowen, yeah. I mean, Bowen's going up here. That's an easy one. Gyökeres is a little trickier. I'm going to put him, I think, somewhere in the Gabriel zone. I'm going to put Gyökeres here, just above O'Reilly. Okay, we've got Petrovic for a goalkeeper. I don't mind Petrovic. I'm going to put Petrovic here. We'll put Dubravka. I'm going to put Dubravka here. I think, look, I'm not expecting Dubravka to start, but like you could just start him and then get the auto sub if you've got multiple goalkeepers. Henderson wouldn't be super keen on, to be honest. Ruffs. You guys have got some interesting goalkeeper. So basically, no defender is starting. Now, this is not anything to do. Oh wait, yes, it's going to look like that, isn't it? Because it says play or bench at the bottom. Ah, okay, I didn't even think about that. Right, let's. we need to fix this, don't we? Because this is going to be very confusing to those who are new to the streams. Let's cover this up. Can I put some text in? Text. And we need to change the direction of the text. I don't even know how to do that. Better. Worse. Now, how do I flip the direction of the text? Hang on, we'll figure it out. No, that's not it. We'll get that. Maybe I just need to make the box wider. Let's make the word shorter. Good and bad. And then I can just go like this. Change this. So it's a gradient fill from... I can't believe I'm trying to do all this on the fly. Okay. No, that's not quite the right red. Or is it? Okay, that'll do. Then change that text to black. Right, okay, finally, I think people can probably understand my very much makeshift diagram. Wow. That is rubbish. That is rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Okay, anyway. Can we get rid of the stands for next season so the names are bigger? The problem is not that. The problem is the vertical space, not the horizontal space. The names could be bigger if there was less of them, or if maybe I did multiple rows. That is a possibility, but the vertical space is the problem. When you're trying to do a tier list, the vertical space is so important. But maybe, I mean, to be fair, maybe we could just change it to a straight up like tier list and have like different categories rather than a gradient, I guess. I don't know. I'll think about it. FPL Nathan in the chat, what's up? Never says I think it works well as is. I mean, it does the job. Carl says, is there a viable 4.5 mid Ungamoa or Baleba? I don't know. Hang on, let me quickly just go and check for midfielders under, was it under 4.5, you say? Nothing springs to mind immediately. I'm not massively keen on those mentioned names. And they're pretty much the only ones. What about Dowman? I mean, you could take a punt on Dowman if you think he's going to start. That's my only suggestion. Josh King, maybe? Maybe he gets a start in a kind of, to give him some more minutes. Obviously, like a player for the future there. So potentially. Reinders 4.9. He's a little bit more, isn't he? What do we think Reinders is going to play? How about doing tier lists for each position next season? The thing is with that is because it was you know, usually week on week this is a bench list. So really, like, who you're going to bench between, I don't know, let's say you've got to bench one of Bowen or Gibbs White, for example. You've got to bench one of them. The fact that they're different positions is kind of irrelevant. So you kind of just got to lump them all in together to try and get a better idea. Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's go over. The bookmakers have had a sudden drop for Man City. Let's go check this out. Why are Man City's goal? They dropped. Oh wait, they dropped this more. No, they dropped this morning, and then they dropped again. Literally now. That to me suggests a certain man. Oh, Bortuzzi in the chat just says City projected goals dropped just now. Yeah, this is a very, very strong sign that Haaland might not be starting. But it could also be someone else. Who am I kidding? This is really bad news for Haaland. This is really, really bad news for Haaland. I think it's going to be a matter of time before we get a leak at this point. But it's looking bad. Shout out FPL Joe. Yeah, this look good. This not look good. Not looking good. Not looking good. Not looking good. Not looking good. I'm going to, just for right now, I'm going to captain Bruno just to be a little safe here. Or Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck captain. Talk me out of it. Let's just try it on for size. Don't hate it. I don't hate it. Okay, well, look, this is interesting. I don't know what it means for my team. I'm going to leave Haaland in the lineup for now. I'm now thinking that Marmoush is probably looking likely to be my transfer. Let's have a look at some transfers. Now you're going to captain Bruno Fernandes. Have we met? I do crazy captains. Sometimes. I just started talking about it when you super chat. I know. Good timing, though. We're clearly on the same Welbeck. Welbeck? On the same wavelength. Sorry, I read someone in chat saying, why is your captain on Welbeck? It only just went on there, to be fair. I do think Welbeck is one of the better picks for this week. I'm looking for like the potential for high goals. I'm looking for which teams have the potential for a 4-goal game where their team scores 4 goals. I'm not seeing that from West Ham. I'm not seeing that from Spurs. I'm not seeing that from Arsenal. I'm seeing that from Man City, and I'm seeing it from Brighton, and I'm seeing it from maybe Bournemouth. Bournemouth, Brighton, and Man City. And I want to pick a captain from one of the teams that's going to score a lot of goals, if I'm totally honest, because I want that high upside. And I know people are going to prefer Bruno, but look, you've got to play your own game. You've got to play your own game. It's got to be done. Reminder to like the stream, please, guys, if you haven't done it already. I'm just going to try out some transfers here. So let's assume... Could I take it if Haaland's not starting and Saka isn't starting, and Yoker isn't starting, and I don't know, maybe Cherky is or isn't starting? Is there a -4 I can take that involves Marmoush, and I would have 19.2 to spend on a forward? I don't think I need the money. Damn, that throws Salah in the mix, doesn't it? But I would want Marmoush. If Haaland's not starting, I want Marmoush. And I'm going to captain Marmoush. Like, no doubt about it. How much did the odds drop for City? A lot. It was like by 0.25 goals instantly. Okay, sorry, no, 0.2 goals. Just in an instant. Gone. Which, I don't know, is that Haaland levels? If it drops any lower, then we'll know it's Haaland. At that, it could just mean, it could mean a Semenyo. It could just mean like a generally rotated team as well. But whatever the case, leaks are out there now, and it's just a matter of time before they find their way to us FPL managers. So leaks are around. Man City leaks are around. We just gotta wait for them to become public now. So whether someone gets a little cheeky DM or it goes out on Twitter or social media or on some other website, we'll have to wait and see. But if I was to do this, I guess I would do Bowen, right? I'd do Marmoush and Bowen. Because money's no object. Comedy Addict says, pretty sure this is a Semenyo not starting. Maybe you're right. Who would you suggest transferring in if we get news Haaland doesn't start? Like Bowen and Fleming are the two I like the most, I think. Is it fine for a -4 or -8 if a popular player isn't benched? I would say that if your team is in tatters, as in you're going to struggle to field 11 players, then or you think you might struggle to play 11 players, at that point, I'll be thinking about taking hits. I would rather not take hits, if possible. But if I have 4 or 5 players, even 3, if I have 3 or more players benched, I think that's a -4 for me. If I have 2 players benched, I won't take a -4. 2 or less, I won't take a -4. I'll just use 1 transfer. But 3 or more, I probably will take a -4. If it's somehow 5, if I somehow have 5 players not playing, at that point, I'll take a -8. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, I'll be looking at Marmoush if Haaland's out, which is, of course, not confirmed yet. Not confirmed at all. What's your opinion on Joao Pedro? I think he's better than people are making him out to be this game week. I'd be looking to play him, keep him, if I had him. Is it okay to triple captain Richarlison? I mean, you're playing with fire. I don't think I'd do it personally, but there are worse picks, I think. So I'm actually going to end the captain poll right now because I think, based on current information, maybe a few people would change their mind. By the way, this is why it's so important to watch deadline streams. If you're new to deadline streams, generally, this is one of the huge benefits of joining and watching a deadline stream. Hopefully the FPL Mate deadline streams, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, you get these nuggets of information that hundreds of thousands, millions of FPL managers are just not going to have access to. Because we look at every little detail. We know where the leaks are that we trust. Obviously, sometimes we get private leaks as well. We're checking out the odds. You don't get this. You don't get this elsewhere. Well, you might a bit. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys have like group chats, FPL group chats that are very on it. But even those people, the people putting out the messages in the group chat are probably people watching YouTube streams. What happened to anyone who just joined? Man City's goal scoring odds has dropped dramatically. So we are thinking that the bookmakers are aware that a major Man City attacker has been dropped out of the starting 11. You know what else it could be? Call me crazy, but it could also be that maybe the Aston Villa team is out and maybe they're a little stronger in defense than we thought. Maybe there's like a full defense of Martinez, Konsa, Cash, whoever else. What website is this? This is FPLJoe.com. So it's either a major Man City attacker or two has been leaked as not starting, or Aston Villa are playing a much stronger squad than we thought. But it's so difficult to tell. But whatever the case, the information is out there. Dan, you mean maybe Villa players have been declared sober? You know what, Neil? You're onto something, yeah. the Aston Villa players have come out and announced that they're finally over their hangovers and they're ready to go. How much would one big bet affect the projected goals? Well, you don't know. Is it one big bet? Is it several bets? Is it actually the bookmakers themselves being made aware of certain things and adjusting their own odds? And is that impacting things? And then, maybe that's causing flurries of bets here, there, and everywhere. You don't know. You don't know. It could be a variety of reasons. So much with gambling and betting. So much goes on behind the scenes that yeah, we're not we won't be sure exactly what's impacted this, but the important thing is a sudden big drop like that can't be a few bets. Surely you wouldn't have thought so. I think the lineups have been leaked and the bookmakers are adjusting their odds based on that. You say this, but Villa projected goals hardly moved. And you think that if their defense improved, their attackers are safer to push more confidently. Yeah, that is what is making me think it's more likely a major Man City attacker or two has been dropped. Because Aston Villa's goals haven't improved, have they? Yeah, they have. They have, to be fair. So Man City's that's a clean sheet opportunities, sorry, or prospects. So yeah, no, their attack hasn't moved, but their clean sheet has, which makes sense because it will go directly in line with Man City's projected goals going down. But is that changing? There is a small dip in Man City's clean sheet odds, which is something. Man City's win odds have gone down. Draw odds have gone up a couple of percent. Most likely scoreline is now 2-1 and 2-0. Click on 6 hours. It's not a big change. Okay. We might as well actually be on 6 hours. It's not a big change. What? I mean, this is a big change, no? See, it dropped to 2.54 and it's kind of settled back at 2.56. It's bouncing around a little bit here. Oh, the increase. Oh, no, I mean, it's not big. If only there was a Haaland to score stat, yeah, that would be helpful, isn't it? Wouldn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, look, we'll keep an eye on that. I do think that this is a positive sign, not necessarily for certain players, but I think this is a positive sign that a leak is on its way. I think a leak is on its way based on this, which is good. And just a reminder, this website is fpljoe.com. And I need to figure out basically a way to get Marmoush into my team and to captain him. Because that's the one for me. If no Haaland, Marmoush comes in. Even if I have to take a hit, I will bring in Marmoush if Haaland's not starting. And captain him. Hey Dan, how long one for you today then? Any early team leaks we know of? Nothing confirmed, no. But yeah, is it a long one for me? Pretty long, yeah. But to be fair, we've been doing 3-hour deadline streams for a few weeks now. For maybe several weeks now. So yeah, we're enjoying the long ones. Pause. Thank you for your service, sir. Oh, I appreciate it, man, but I'm not exactly in the military. Just making FPL videos for you guys and enjoying myself whilst doing so. Blizz says, today would mark 3 years of watching you, and I'm glad to say rank's been improving every year, with this year on course to be my best ever finish. Thank you for everything, Dan. You're welcome, Blizz. I'm so glad to hear it. And you know what? I would love to hear from some more of you guys as well. Like, how are you getting on? this season. Are you what is your current rank? What are your rank targets? Are you winning your mini leagues? Let's see your stories, guys. Let's see your stories. Because we are obviously going into that final game week, and a lot of you guys will all have your little little. That sounds so condescending. You'll all have your storylines essentially going on in different worlds, right? Neil is 10,900 rank, so presumably looking to get into that top 10k. Common Arsenal says I was 150k 2 weeks ago. Mate, don't even start. I was 60k 2 weeks ago. Meals Beast says I dropped all the way to 2 million, clawed my way back to 900k, now dropped to 1.2, trying to get top million. It's doable, man. It's doable. With team, particularly if you're like sub 200k, 250k, maybe 300k, if you are lower than those kind of ranks, the 99% of the people you're competing with at those kind of ranks are not going to have access to any team leaks and will be making transfers on vibes, probably already made transfers. So you genuinely are going to have to, you're going to have a huge opportunity. Dan Cross says, I'm getting worse, losing my mini leagues. So no thanks. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. No, I'm getting worse than the last 2 weeks. Don't even start. Roy with a super chat here says, big up, Dan. Thanks for the great content. Thank you so much, Roy. Much appreciated. And yeah, I'm glad to hear you've been enjoying the content. Damien says, that's my worst season rank ever, but I'm still on course to win my mini league, 12 points behind. Oh, good luck, good luck. Goal says, I'm up 32 points with one transfer. Should I stress? No, it's a chill day for you. It's a chill day. Democratic Dave says, Dan, would you not fancy Salah if Haaland isn't playing? In a way, yes. If I was to make like 3 transfers, if I was to take like a big -8, then yeah. But I think for me, if you are selling Haaland, you've got money to distribute. You go 2 ways. You either bring in Marmoush or you bring in Salah. You bring in an Egyptian essentially. But for me, I think I would lean towards Marmoush. But again, need to get that all confirmed before we really think about it. Need to get all confirmed. Nave says, my rank is in the bin, 430k. Try to be 2 differential instead of fairly template. It's rough out there, man. Those small differences do make a difference. Super chat from Aldi here, who says, why Marmoush captain over Bruno, Dan? Specific reason? Yeah, okay. So my specific reason would be that I'm looking for a team that I think can score 4 goals this week. I want to captain, or let's say 3. I want to captain from a team that I think can score 3 goals in Gameweek 38, and I hope that the player I pick as captain has a decent share of those 3 goals. I think Man City are definitely a team that can score 3 goals this week. My other teams that I think can score a few goals this week are Brighton and Bournemouth. I think these are teams playing against teams with nothing to play for. And, in Bournemouth and Brighton's case, heavily motivated to go out and score a bunch of goals, playing against teams that are playing with attacking freedom at the moment and, really not defending very well at the moment, not really caring. Who cares? Their season's done kind of thing. That is not Bruno. Bruno is playing away from a top quality defense, away against a top quality defense with everything to play for in terms of European football. And he's not even going to be going for goals. He's going for assists. So it's not that I dislike Bruno. I appreciate that he's a safe and sensible captain. But my specific reason as to why I'm probably even if I don't get Marmoush and Haaland's not playing, maybe Marmoush and Haaland aren't playing, I'll still go for someone else. If I can't go for a Man City player, I'll probably go Welbeck over Bruno. But that's just me personally. I'm looking for the high upside. I'm looking for the big score rather than the sensible kind of middle of the park score, which I think you're more likely to get from a Bruno or a Bowen. Super chat from Craig here says, my best season ever, first top 10k finish, winning all my mini leagues and second in the FPL Mate League. I don't even watch football. All thanks to you, Dan. That is crazy, Craig. Surely you've got to watch Gameweek38 to see the fruits of your labor, but that's actually crazy. Honestly, I feel proud to be able to help someone hit 10k, top 10k finish without even watching any football, just on FPL Mate videos. Great stuff. Chatterbox currently 7.5k, looking set for my best ever finish. Congratulations to you. Josh is top 50k, never even broke 200k before. That's a big achievement, man. That's a big achievement. Neil says, I really doubt the clean sheet odds for Everton. I think the bookies are giving De Zerbi too much credit. Spurs are still pretty bad going forwards. I might play Tarko. I don't mind playing Tarkos, to be fair, if you have to. But I think Spurs have got a good chance. Ahmad says, bench one from Gross, Anderson, Thiago, or Anthony. Oh, man, do I really have to bench one of those guys? If I had to bench one, I guess I'd bench Anderson, I think. Anderson or Gross. I play Thiago and Anthony. And then Gross has higher upside, but Anderson's slightly more secure. Maybe I'd go for the secure guy. Let's go Anderson. Play Anderson, Thiago, Anthony, bench Gross. Or if you're feeling a little spicy, play Gross instead of Anderson. Carl says, guy who is winning FPL is playing for the first time. Crazy. Mate, it's been a crazy season, to be fair. It's been a crazy season. But we see that year on year. I think there's a guy who finished he might have finished third in FPL last year or something. He was on social media and stuff. And he's like 3 million this season and he's actively playing. So I think if you're going to win FPL, you need to pretty much make nonsensical and crazy decisions every single week and hope to get lucky. And if you get extremely, in a sample size of, 13 million players, one person can just pick at random and get extraordinarily lucky because it's such a large sample size, but it won't happen every year. Jonathan says, what percentage would you give Joao Pedro start? I think I would give him a certainly above 50%. I'll give him a solid 70%. Worth starting, in my opinion. Worth starting. Another super chat here from Benjamin, who says, just join the stream. Have there been any team leagues? Not quite yet, although there is some indication that at least one major Man City attacker is going to be on the bench. But I don't know who yet. Still not seeing anything too interesting in terms of team leagues, though. Or at least nothing that I'm 100% confident is trustworthy at this exact moment. Hi, Dan. Would you go for Anthony over Gibbs White? I don't know. That's a real toss-up. I'm really not sure. I like both. Do I have to pick one of them? Maybe Gibbs White. Dan, I have 2 free transfers. What about Saka, Trossard, Haaland, Palmer, Salah, and Bowen? Well, let's wait for team leagues. I don't know if you need necessarily to take a hit. 1 hour to go. Don't panic. Yeah. I think in the next half an hour, we're going to start to see some leaks, which is going to be good and very helpful. Very helpful indeed. Tatty Captain going to be ruthless because why not? Fair play. Hi, Dan. What are the potential Saka replacements for this game week? Man City midfielders, if they're confirmed to be starting. If not, Palmer is interesting. I mean, it's definitely a move I'm thinking about as well. Gibbs White, Anthony at Burnley. And yeah, I'm not sure who else. Not sure. Kerry says, I'm in the cup final for my mini league. Thanks so much for all the help. Down replacements for Saka. I guess the replacements for Saka are going to be like the players I kind of just mentioned, like Palmer, Gibbs White, Anthony, Bruno G, maybe. Harvey Barnes is a bit of a differential. Could go there. Could potentially go there. I'm just going to go off screen whilst I eat. Because last thing I want to be doing is streaming and talking with a bunch of food in my mouth. But look, it's a long stream, guys. I can't just starve. Hey Dan, why aren't you recommending Krupa Jr.? You know what? I haven't really been recommending him, have I? But he's a decent pick. I already have triple Bournemouth, so it's not going to be possible for me, but I don't mind Krupa. Why not Martinelli? Could be a good differential. I guess so, but I don't know if I think Arsenal are going to score that many goals against Crystal Palace, to be honest. Liam Delap differential if Joao Pedro not going to start. I think Joao Pedro is going to start. Chat, why does he have Marmouche? Nothing's locked in yet. What am I scoffing? Banana. Does anyone else open bananas from this end, or is that weird? I just find it easier to open them from this end, from what you might call the bottom. It makes sense. If a banana was hanging off a tree and you wanted to eat it, you would eat from the bottom, right? Not the top. Do I think Turkey starts? Honestly, no. But let's see. Where do I buy my bananas? This one says Costa Rica. So I don't know. Man City goal odds are now 2.5. Oh my god. Down and down they drop. Oh my god, they're going further. Ooh, and Aston Villa's gone up. Okay, that for me does indicate an Aston Villa team leak. Yeah. That indicates an Aston Villa team leak, I think. Unless, I don't know. Haaland and Cherky benched. Is that sorted? Is that done? Let me verify it. That's lazy FPL. Wow. Well, that is something, isn't it? Where's the Cherky leak? Where is the? Because I trust this account implicitly. It was a couple of minutes ago. I don't miss that. Okay. Well, I mean that explains that. That does explain that. Let's put this on the ticker. In fact, I'm gonna remove a lot of the stuff that I think people don't really care about, just so people know. I'm gonna get rid of all of the leaks. Haaland does not start. Confirmed. Okay. Ooh, no Turkey news from Lazy. Where's that though? Where are you seeing this? Is it in the That's confirmed, guys, or at least from a trusted source. Right, let me get to the bottom of this Turkey one, because unless I'm misreading something. Lazy FPL is a valid source, yes. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from Turkey. I know some people in the chat have said about Turkey as well, but I'm not seeing anything. Missing the Man City leak was a FPL banana skin. Yeah, good point. Well, look, we only missed it by a minute or two, maybe. Look, I can't find anything on Turkey, so that to me suggests there's not been any news. But that is pretty big. What to do? What to do? Okay, well, look. Goodbye, Haaland. I'm guessing this means Marmoush is starting. I checked Gemini. Oh, please never use AI for anything football related. AI or large language models are so slow to react to changes of information. With regards to football, that it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Anyway, back to my banana. Whilst we await more team news. Well, it looks like the chaos has begun officially. I don't have a bin in this room. I'll go on the side. Right. I need to know Cherky and Saka now. And Gyökeres and O'Reilly. Oh, we are in trouble, chat. Didn't expect Haaland to be rested. Suggests a major revamp, doesn't it? It does. It's not looking good. And I think it's probably also not looking good for like a Semenyo. What is the leak? The leak is no Haaland. Here for FPL says, thanks for this season, mate. Look forward to the World Cup. Me too, man. Me too. FPL servers going down in 3, 2. Oh, please don't. We got 50 minutes until deadline. 49 minutes. So I don't know, man. Isn't 30 minutes of Haaland better than 50 minutes of Marmoush, though? Maybe. Marmoush doesn't play up top by himself, so Semenyo should play. I mean, yeah, if we're only looking at the last 6 months since Semenyo's been at the club, Marmoush has played loads up front by himself. Is this the first bit of news we've had today? Yes. First and only verified. With Man City predicted goals plummeted, is Marmoush a goodbye? The predicted goals have plummeted because Marmoush is playing. So those things are directly linked rather than being separate points, I think. Or not, I think. I know. The good thing is everyone has Haaland, so it won't really be that big of a deal bar captaincy. It will be. Look, honestly, this is good. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but Haaland being benched is good news because 90% of FPL managers will not be aware of this news. A lot of those people will have their captain's armband on Haaland as well. So very good chance that they are going to be captaining a 1-point guy. Not when I've used my transfers. Look, it's not ideal. If you've already used your transfers, that's probably not ideal, right? But at least you have the opportunity to now decide whether you want to bench Haaland and put him on your bench and move your captain's armband. Who's the best pick for captain now? For me, it's Marmoush. Now it's Marmoush for me. Or who else? Maybe Welbeck. Marmoush, Welbeck, Bruno Fernandes, Salah. Salah's good as well. What's the news? No Haaland. Yeah, but people who are playing for position in the game will be well aware, don't you think? No, definitely not. I think you massively overestimate how many people will get this news. Remember, we are less than an hour before deadline. A lot of the FPL player base will already have made their transfers and won't even be thinking about FPL anymore. They've done it. Most people do not, like 90% of people do not take FPL as seriously as anyone here in this chat today. So it's a good thing. How to Man City predicted goals compare with the likes of Brighton. It's still Man City. We'll go back to the summary. Oh, it's dropped even further now that the news has been officially leaked. -4 for Haaland to Bowen, already done Cherky to Szoboszlai. I mean, if you don't have any, if you're like struggling to field 11 players, then yeah, at that point, -4s. Neil says, let's face it, if we all had lives, we'd be out enjoying the sun. Exactly. A lovely sunny day. In the UK, at least. But yeah, Man City still like this. I know 2.4 projected goals is no 2.7 projected goals, but it's still awesome. That's still like a huge number. Brighton pretty good here. Liverpool been dropping off a little bit here, actually. They were at 2 before. Has anyone paid attention to that? I think that maybe suggests no. Ooh, a defender maybe missing. Because the clean sheet odds have dropped. They'd go up and then they've gone. They kind of just leveled out, actually. Yeah. Yeah, okay, maybe not. But yeah, looks like an attacker from Liverpool may be missing. This suggests to me that Florian Wirtz is maybe not playing. Or maybe could also be confirmation of no Isak, potentially. Bench Haaland and go 3-5-2. Yeah, I mean, if you could do a 3-5-2, I think that's absolutely fine. Man, we need some more leaks. We need some more leaks. Not had enough. Need something else. Hi, Dan. I'm 10 points behind first place in my mini league. Thoughts on taking a hit on Saka and transferring out Haaland for Bowen and bringing in Marmoush? Yeah, look, if Marmoush is confirmed starting, then absolutely. Need Cherky leaks before I do anything? Yeah, me too. If I have a Cherky leak, I think I'll be satisfied. Ideally, you get leaks for everything, don't you? I'd like to have O'Reilly. I'd like to know Marmoush. If I'm in a lot of trouble. So I think I will do, based on current information, I think I'll do Saka and Haaland to Marmoush and Bowen. However, if both Cherky and Gyökeres are also benched, I might take a -8. And bring in another Man City attacker. And do like, I don't know, possibly Semenyo. Semenyo is probably better when there's no Haaland. Probably. Man, Turkey to Semenya to Turkey has just been a disaster transfer, hasn't it? Not my best work. Is there a chance Richarlison is benched? Yeah, there's a chance. Is a -16 worth playing to bench boost and have all players play? No, because like think about it. If you were on a bench boost and each of your 4 players on your bench scored 4 points each, you'd probably take that at this stage of the season. Is Saka and Haaland bench? Haaland is Saka. Saka que pasa. What's up with that? I don't know. This is no good for my anxiety. Yeah, it's not good for anyone's anxiety. This is it's the game we play. Bench boost is horrible this week. Yeah, bench boost is just like yeah, just done. It's just done. Haaland expected minutes. Don't know. You maybe get 20 minutes out of him. Any defender worth a -4? Not for me. Where's the panic button? Yeah, I know, man. We need it. We need it. Yeah, just need to know. Is Bowen really the play? The goal odds look good on let's go like this. The goal odds look good for West Ham, don't they? 1.97. I've already got Brighton attacking coverage. Liverpool, I don't. Salah in play. Just don't know how I get Salah in. Unless I just don't go for Marmoush. Deadline should be Gameweek 38 deadline should be 30 minutes prior to kickoff. Would be so much easier. Yes. No. It would still massively advantage people who are in more favourable time zones. And people who like aren't working at the time and stuff. But I see the appeal. Right. Just need to think. Am I sure on Bowen? Because I'm not massive. I'm actually okay with betting against Bowen, to be honest. But honestly, I don't know where else I could go that I'd be like super confident in. Okay. So looks like Salah. Salah starts. Lazy FPL coming in clutch. So we've got Salah now. And you know what? I'm going to leave my team leagues feed here. So we've got Haaland doesn't start. Salah does start. Let's add that in to our ticker. I'm going to put Salah. Confirmed. Cool. Right. Right, 13 Killings says, hi, wish you a good off-season. Help with this team, please. 1 free transfer, 1.4 million. Darlow, Hill, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Tavernier, Bruno, Semenya, Hinchwood, Rice, Haaland, Pedro. With Pedro, Keane, and Campbell on the bench. Which Pedro? You got 2 Pedros? I think one of them meant to be DCL, maybe. I would play Joao Pedro. Haaland's not starting, so I would bench Haaland or sell Haaland. Is the answer just Haaland to Bowen in your case? I think it possibly is. You don't have Saka. You do have Rice. Yeah, maybe just Haaland to Bowen is the play. Forget the ticker. It's got to be a full scale and in and out leak list, my man. I mean, if I had some time to prep, I did have some time to prep, but if, I kind of like the ticker more. It builds more suspense. City odds dropped again. Oh, no. What's happening now? What, again, as in within the last couple of minutes? It is going... Oh, no, it's not. It's stabilized. It's stabilized-ish. Always going to bounce back a little bit. Haaland 20 minutes can be 2 goals. Yeah, I mean, true. This is FPL Joe, by the way. Just to let you know. Okay, let's have a play around. I hope Gyökeres scores. Me too, man. I hope Gyökeres starts. That would be a good start. Sobo or Palmer? Can you get to Salah? Maybe Palmer. I can get to Salah, can't I? If I didn't want to go for Marmoush. Although, let's order by price. If Cherky's also out, is this worth a -8? Oh, no, it needs both Cherky and Gyökeres to be out to justify me taking a -8. I don't even really want to take a -4. Don't trust Salah enough to buy. No, I get that. I for sure get that. Or, alternatively, I could, if Gyökeres is out, I could just keep Haaland in. If both Cherky and Haaland are out. No, I can't afford that. Okay, I don't know. Let's reset. I think for now, Haaland to Bowen. Or unless Gyökeres to Fleming. Sorry, guys, just trying a couple things out. Do I sell Cherky and Saka for Anderson and Gibbs White? If they're confirmed out, then you could do. I mean, I'm not so convinced by Forest with nothing to play for that I would buy double midfield. To be fair, is Haaland out? He is indeed. I have a free hit. What do I do? Free hit, my friend. Look, this is... Oh, this was my old free hit team. I'm going to change it a little bit now. I'm going to change this free hit team a little bit. To you to Marmoush. Where is Marmoush? You, and I'll probably throw in Bruno Fernandes. Okay. If I was on a free hit, this... I think this would be my... No, I need Marmoush. I need Marmoush. Something like this would be my team. What am I doing, man? Wait, no, it's still wrong. You there. You there. Right. If I was on a free hit, that would be my team. As of right this second. I maybe throw John Stones in there instead of Danso. Maybe. Welcome to the membership area. Giradej. Welcome very much. Welcome very much. That makes sense. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Much appreciated. A mucho apreciado, my friend. Okay, so I could, in theory, I get Marmouche in and Salah. So I could potentially do this -8. If my team is just completely cooked. I could maybe do this -8. And keep Haaland in and just see if I can get 30 minutes out of him or something. And probably bench Tav, I guess. Something like that. And just take a risk on Haaland going on and getting something from the bench. Because it's definitely possible for Haaland to get some damage off the bench. You know, ideally, I would just sell Haaland, though. I did want to see if I could figure a way of keeping Haaland. It's going to take a -8 for me to keep Haaland, though, which I'm not. It's something I don't want to do. But, like, you know, depending on other team news coming in, it's something that might have to be done. Is it possible Pep uses all 5 subs at halftime? Yeah. Yeah. So everyone's sure Marmouche will play. Like, who else is going to play? That's the problem. Who else is it going to be? Tati over Fleming? Maybe for you. I prefer Fleming. Reset again. Got some options. Good to be aware of your options. It's good to be aware of your options. And check for any more leaks. Can't see anything. Very slow leaks. They're a little slow. Salah is confirmed. Yes, Salah's confirmed starting. Do I start Haaland or DCL, mate? I don't know. It's really tough. It depends what you value more. Sell Semenyo and I wouldn't sell Semenyo. At this exact moment, I wouldn't sell Semenyo. Saka. I don't even know. Should I take the captain's armband off Welbeck? Because people are just going to not be happy seeing that. Even though, with this team right now, if I couldn't make a transfer right now, I would be captain Welbeck, not going to lie. We've got a super chat, a super sticker here from a name in Chinese that I unfortunately cannot read because I can't read Chinese, unfortunately. But thank you very much for that. And another super chat here from Temi Hats, who says, I am 25 points on top of my mini league. I need to take a -8 to look a bit comfortable. If you're winning by 25 points, you don't need to take a -8, do you? Need to take a -8 to look a bit comfortable. At the same time, I'm not trying to do too much because the second person has a bench boost left. Oh, okay. Yeah, but like if you're winning by that much, do you need to look comfortable, or is it okay to play like a Van Hecker or a Keane or a Bijol or a DCL or a Joao Pedro? All of these players are fine. I'd rather play these guys than take a -4 in order to bench them or to sell them. So yeah, do you really need to take a -8? I would take a step back and chill out. If you know your player is going to play and you can get a full 11 out and you're winning your mini league without taking a hit, even if they're not the perfect players in your 11, I don't think it's worth taking that -8. Lewis says, thoughts Haaland, Saka, Cherki to Krupa Jr., Marmouche and Salah. I like that a lot. Yeah. This is presuming Cherki goes to the bench. I think Saka will, regardless. But yeah, if we get a leak on Cherki, then yes. Oh my word. Okay, guys, I got some bad news. No O'Reilly, no Cherki. I've got the trifecta Oh, this is an actual disaster. This is an actual disaster. Okay, I'm gonna double up on this defense. I think. Hold that thought. Okay. My word, this is just awful. This is just awful. So O'Reilly needs to go to the back of the bench. Do I know if Haaland's playing? I know that Haaland is not playing. So no Haaland, no Cherky, no O'Reilly. The only 3 Man City players I have. Brilliant. And you know what? Semenyo, I can guarantee now, Semenyo and Gahey will be playing. Just completely cooked. Okay. Let's figure this out. Who am I going to play out of Keane and Van Hecker? I'm feeling Van Hecker more. I'm gonna play Van Hecker. I'm gonna double up. Screw it. I'm definitely not captaining Bruno now, though. Definitely not. Man, okay. This is annoying. Van Hecker more Defcon. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. What do we do? What do we do here? No Arsenal leaks yet. No. Oh, man. Okay, so Cherky's got to go to Marmoush. That's done. No doubt about that. Happy with that. Roy Machete with a super chat says, rank 80k. I have 1 free transfer and I'm okay with -4. And he's giving me the whole team. Sell Cherky and Haaland and buy Marmoush and Bowen. There we go. I'm not taking a -12. I'm not going that far. Right, let me update the ticker as well for us. So what have we got? We've got Haaland and Cherky. And O'Reilly. Oh. How many times am I going to have to say Haaland's not starting? Am I cooked? Yeah, I'm so cooked. I'm actually so cooked. I'm literally just, I'm hanging on by a thread at this point with 1 free transfer. Thoughts on O'Reilly to Mavropanos? I don't mind it. Don't mind it. Okay. Let's see. What do you do if you still have Joao Pedro in your team? I wish I still had Joao Pedro in my team. That sounds great. Okay. Can't find anything else yet. Nicole says, hi, I'm ready to tackle this final game week of the season. Thank you for your for the amazing work you do and advice you've given. Really appreciate it. You're welcome, Nicole. You're welcome. Now it just needs to get over the line now. So I think I have to do Cherky to Marmoush. I think I have to do that. To the extent where maybe I lock that in now. I just don't see any other way around that transfer. The next question is, do I bring in players like Semenyo and Doku as well? Would take a -8 to do that. Scorpio says, Cherky, Saka, Haaland to Marmoush, Enzo, and Bowen for a -4. Yeah, assuming we get a leak on Marmoush, because I would like to have that confirmation if possible. But like, I don't know. You might have to go off what we know. Mate, if you had to pick one, Palmer or Foden or Marmoush, based on nothing, no leaks or anything like that, I'd go for Marmoush. Why not Semenyo instead of Marmoush? Because Marmoush is a free kick taker, penalty taker, corner taker, and will be playing as the central striker. Marmoush is great when he plays. He just doesn't play very often. Turkey to Anthony seems better, if you say so. How do Man City score without those players? Man City have many, many great players. Haaland out surely means Salah in, for us chasers at least. I think Marmoush is the chaser move. What about Doku? I like Doku as well. Which goalie is starting for you? I think I'm going to double up on Brighton defence now. Who's the best captain then? Bruno and Bowen are your safe picks. Your more risky picks are Marmoush and Salah. Liverpool goal odds softening a bit still. Arsenal clean sheet odds holding firm. Well, that's interesting. Worth taking a hit to get out Haaland? Quite possibly. Are you seriously going to captain Welbeck? Probably not. If I bring in Marmoush, I'll captain him. But Marmoush was kind of my bus captain when I only knew Haaland was going to be out. I'm just like frantically refreshing for team news at this point. Dan, I'm panicking. I might need a minus 16. You're not going to need a minus 16. Just play your bench players. If your bench players play, then I'd rather do that than take minus 16s. Buy one, Subslide Poro or Mavropanos. Depends who you're selling. Who you're selling is far more important than who you're buying right now, I feel. Haaland to whom? Bowen, if you like. If you want to go sensible, go for Bowen. I also like Fleming. No Arsenal news, no. Darlow to Hermanson. You could do, but again, I feel like you're going to have much higher priority moves. Dan, I forgot to use my bench boost early in the season. How many hits would you take for a bench boost this week? None. I would only take hits for players who I know are not going to play. So I would take as many hits as it takes to remove players who will play literally 0 minutes, who you know for a fact who will play literally 0 minutes. Like, I'd rather have Haaland for 20 minutes at the end of the game than take a -4 to remove Haaland if on a bench boost. Yeah, not the best week for a bench boost. I guess with the benefit of hindsight. Yeah, a lot of people are going to take too many hits for a bench boost this week. I can already sense it. It always happens. Are we assuming Raya won't be playing? Well, I don't think we're making that assumption at all. Lieutenant Cobra says, I've got a bench boost active. I've got Gabriel, Rice, Haaland, Cherky, and O'Reilly. Who should I get and how many hits? Gabriel, I think, based on current information, which is not very much, is going to be fine. Cherky's got to go. Bench boost active, though. Cherky's got to go. O'Reilly's got to go. So I think I would make moves to remove Cherky and O'Reilly. If that's a hit, then that's a hit. I would keep Haaland, even though he's not going to play, only because of your specific situation. Who would I get? I'd get Marmoush and Pedro Porro for Cherky and O'Reilly, I think. Still no new team leaks. Can you please give team news again? I can, but they are on screen at the bottom, right at the bottom there. But the team news that we have is Salah is starting, Haaland is not starting, Cherky is not starting, O'Reilly is not starting. That's what we got, which is terrible news for me. Terrible, terrible, terrible news. Worth taking a -4 if Van Hecke and Keane both starting for me. But if you already have all your bench players on your pitch, then and you're still not at 11 players, then yeah, maybe. Don't know if Marmoush is starting or not. I'm guessing that he is. Thank you for the super sticker, Kildill. Lewis Skelly. I think Lewis Skelly will start, but I don't know. Scorpio says Saka or Trossard to Enzo. I guess Trossard? I don't know. Maybe Trossard. Okay. Any news on Joao Pedro? No, but I honestly, I think Joao Pedro will start. Let's have a look at the odds on Chelsea, because unless Chelsea's goal odds have dropped significantly, which they haven't, they've been pretty stable all day. Actually increased slightly. I think Joao Pedro is going to start. Any updates here? No. Need to check Arsenal. Man, we're going to have to lock in some transfers soon. It looks like Arsenal have been pretty stable. Eriku says, 9 points ahead in my mini league. 1 transfer. Would you take a hit? Have Haaland, Cherki, and Saka. Bench is pretty beat up. If your bench is pretty beat up, how bad? If it's pretty bad, maybe Cherki's certainly worth transferring. And then after that, maybe Saka. Why not bench O'Reilly in your team? Oh, I'm going to bench O'Reilly. Don't worry about that. I'm going to bench him. Kildill, I have a feeling you're trying to put in a super chat message. There is a minimum spend, not implemented by me, but implemented by YouTube to put in a super chat. But if you have a message, just put it in the regular chat and I'll have a look at it. This is all City's fault for drawing. It is. Doku could be interesting. Never says Brighton's odds dropping. I'm panicking. You're kidding me. Oh, don't say that. I'm panicking. How bad? Oh no, it's not. It's not so. Oh, it's not great. Ooh. Oh, that's more Man United up, is it not? Man United must have been leaked somewhere, because it's both Man United up and Brighton down, and it's nothing crazy significant. It's actually just as the change is just as significant for Brighton as it is for Manchester United. So that could be either team there. Red Sox kid says -10 in mini league, 2 free transfers, 0.6 in the bank. Ciao Gabriel, O'Reilly, Senesi, Rice, Bruno, Hinchel, Thiago Haaland, Cherki, Stack, Anderson. What should I do? Sell Cherki and Haaland? Or Cherki and Rice? Yeah, okay. Can you sell Cherki and... Oh, wait, you got O'Reilly there as well. Okay, bench O'Reilly. Oh, okay, you actually need to sell O'Reilly. Okay. Sell O'Reilly and Cherki to Pedro Porro and maybe whichever Man City midfielder appeals to you the most. Mohammed with a super chat says, stupidly left my bench boost until this week. How many minuses would you take? Well, we've got a lot of big super chats coming in all of a sudden. This is crazy. I've got to do my team as well in all of this. How many hits would I take? Look, as long as your players are going to play some minutes, and even if they play 1 minute, I think I'd rather have a player to come on and score 1 point than take a -4 for that player in the case of a bench boost. So I'd be looking to sell players who I don't think are going to play any minutes. And that might include O'Reilly and Cherki, for example, but it wouldn't necessarily include Haaland. So how many -4s would I take? As few as possible, and only selling players I think have a good chance of playing 0 minutes. as long as it takes to solve that. Sidhu says, I have Haaland, Cherky, O'Reilly, Wilson, and Anderson in my squad, and 0 free transfers. But since City players are not starting and Wilson is rotation risk, keep Wilson. Keep and start Wilson. I would. Should I sell Anderson to Fofana for a hit? Definitely not. Definitely don't do that. If anything, selling Cherky to another Man City midfielder or O'Reilly to either Pedro Porro or Mavropanos, that's what I would do. Cherky to Marmoush or Salah. I mean, if we get a Marmoush leak, then Marmoush. But honestly, the closer we get to deadline with no Marmoush leak, I'm wondering if Salah actually might be the play. You know what? I'm going to set up 2 hits, I think. Or am I? I don't know. We got more super chats, which I massively appreciated, but it is panic stations time. Right, Sid Fisher says, have Gabriel, Lacroix, O'Reilly, Cherky, Saka, Gyökeres, Haaland, 1 free transfer, 0.7 in the bank. What would you do? How many hits would you take? I would, depends who else you have. I mean, Lacroix, just bench him. Cherky, I would move to another Man City midfielder. O'Reilly, if you were going to be forced to play O'Reilly, then maybe him to Pedro Porro or Mavropanos and maybe the hit there, unless you can just play someone on your bench. Anna says, have Cherky, Haaland, O'Reilly. On the bench is Van Hecker, Tavernier, and Lacroix. Oh, Van Hecker and Tavernier are absolutely fine. Are these 3 Man City players likely to play at all, do you think? I think Haaland will come off the bench. I am less convinced by Cherky and O'Reilly coming off the bench. So my priority move for you there, if you're still making transfers, would be Cherky to a different Man City midfielder or to Salah, I would say. Okay. I'm still seeing no other team leaks. I'm going to load up a potential, like if we get no more information, I have to go pretty sensible. I just wish I could do 5.6. There's nothing there. It would have to be Haaland out. And it'd have to be Bowen in. And it would have to be Salah captain. Oh, those servers are definitely crashing, aren't they? I'm really going to go into this game with this game week with no Man City. It just doesn't feel right. The alternative option is maybe, I really don't think. Right, midfielders. Sell Haaland for Bowen and put captaincy on Bowen. Yeah, you could do. Bowen, pretty safe and sensible captain. Okay, could I do a Palmer here? Potentially. Oh dear. We are in trouble. Maybe Palmer. If I can't afford Salah, maybe Palmer. Or just go, because I don't think so. Okay. Sorry guys, this is crazy because obviously I want to help you guys in the chat, but also I'm also panicking about my own team a little bit. So I think these are my 2 options. I think in this scenario, I will bench Saka. And in this scenario, which is a little bit cheekier, I might bench Haaland. Will I bench Haaland? I maybe bench Gyökeres. Which I maybe actually prefer. And whatever the case, I think I'm going to captain an Egyptian. Only getting Palmer because you can afford him. Honestly, I'm looking for a penalty taker. So either way, you take a hit. I think I'm in hit territory now. I'm in hit territory. I've got too many players missing. I got minimum 3. I said if 3 of my players are missing, I'll take a hit. And I'm at 3, and it could even go up to 5. Still, I don't know. So I think I'm kind of in a way forced to take a hit. Who to start? Gross and Jai or DCL? I wish I had that luxury. Out of those 3, I like Gross the most. Okay, so might be getting Arsenal team news, which we need. There's 7 minutes till deadline. Do not back Gabriel out for Virgil. Absolutely not. No, don't back that at all. Virgil is just he scored 2 goals last game week. It's not going to happen every week. Liverpool are a terrible defense. Brentford are a good side. Brentford will score against Liverpool today. I really do think Brentford will score. So Van Dijk, you're bringing in a player who is potentially getting somewhere between 2 and 4 points, or maybe even 1 and 4 points. I can definitely see Brentford scoring twice. So there's only 2 defenders I'd realistically buy, and it's Mavropanos and Pedro Porro. I don't really like anyone else. What about Gahey? We've got no news on Gahey. Man, the site's going to crash if I don't lock in some moves, man. I'm going to have to just do it. I might just take a risk on this one. I'm going to load him up on my phone as well, just so I have both ready to go. And then I will captain an Egyptian man, no matter what the case. So yeah, I'm just going to get this loaded up on my phone as well, so I have multiple ways of ensuring everything's good. If we don't get an Arsenal, if we don't get some kind of leak in the next couple of minutes, we're in trouble. Wilson or Anderson, both are great, or at least decent. Maybe Wilson's more fun, Anderson's more safe. So it depends which way you want to go there. Are Mateus, Saka, and Saliba playing? I have no idea. Who's confirmed not playing? Haaland, Cherky, and O'Reilly are the only confirmed players not playing. That's it. It's getting too late for leaks now. Is Ray okay for today? Maybe. I think so. But look, there's no way to know for sure. Seems only fitting that Salah trolls us one more time before leaving. It does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? I think we're in trouble. I don't think there's going to be any leaks. It's getting too late. The site's going to crash, isn't it? Well, look, assuming the site does crash, am I happy with this-ish? I guess. Bringing in Anthony, Bowen, and Salah, so I hopefully stay top 60k. Thank you for a great season, champ, and look forward to next. Much love. Thank you so much, Jacob. Appreciate that. Although I'm definitely not feeling like we're quite over the line yet. Let's just get past this next 5 minutes, man. Oh man, I'm gonna have a big pace around this room when all is said and done. God, I don't know about this. Sack of the Salah for a -4. Yeah, you could do if you're not convinced. If you're not convinced. maybe we'll go for... The other option is Foden. Like, I'm more convinced that Foden starts than Marmoush. Like, if I can't get a Marmoush leak, am I overthinking at this point? Super chat's coming in. Bench Rodgers or Pedro Porro? Definitely Rodgers. Start Saka or Gyökeres? I start Gyökeres. I'd maybe take the -4 though. Don't say that now. Look, I'm just panicking because I was hoping that we'd get a Marmoush league, but there's a chance there's no Marmoush league. Might be time to lock it in. It might be time to lock it in now. Man. I kind of want Marmoush. I'm going Marmoush. I'm doing it. I'm just going to take the risk. I don't... Do I want to captain him? I'm doing it. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. I'm going to do the Palmer and Marmoush route. Yeah. Going to confirm that. Please don't crash FPL website. Okay, I might have to do this on my phone. Oh, it didn't crash. Wait, did it work or not? That website's dead. All right, I'm going to have to do it on my phone. Turkey to Marmoush, Saka to Palmer. Confirm. Oh, no, it's done. It's done. Cool. Right, and then we're going to play Palmer instead of... I'm getting worried about Gyökeres. Oh, no, but, you know... Stop it. And then captain... We're going to captain Marmoush. What the hell's going on? Right, needs to do this on my phone, man. Website's always so dodgy. Really cutting it fine here. Really cutting it fine. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Palmer on. Team saved. Captain Marmoush. Team saved. Double check. Your team has been saved. Okay, well, look. The FPL website tells me my team's been saved. I'm inclined to believe it. Oh, my. Oh, my word. I hate this. I'm having the worst day ever. I cannot. We're locked in, guys. We're locked in. The deadline's passed. This is... Oh, I need to pace. Oh, my word. This is genuinely awful. My heart, man, this is not good. This is not good. Honestly, Pep Guardiola, good riddance. Good riddance. Get out of the Premier League. FPL does not need this. Honestly, I'm having a horrible time. Just end my suffering already. My God. Full-grown man breaking down over a game of FPL. I can't handle this. This has been the single most stressful deadline in the history of FPL. Like, this is ridiculous. I can't even sit down. I need to drink something. So I need to drink something harder than this as well. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Is anyone else feeling in any way similar to me right now? Am I alone here? Am I alone here, or any of you guys honestly feeling the exact same way right now? Never says I just want to cry. Casey says give a like to Dan. What a deadline. Duncan says, to be fair, Dan, it's Arsenal's fault. If the league wasn't done, it wouldn't be so easy. Yeah, fair. Yeah, lots of people saying not alone, not alone. Same. Oh man. You know what's the scariest thing? It's not done yet, by the way. This is what's going to happen next. I don't want to panic anyone, but there is still the very real possibility that changes and things that have saved have not actually been saved. So I am going to take a screenshot actually of my team now where it says your team has been saved. So I can get my money back from FPL if my team hasn't been saved, because it's told me it has. Oh, didn't confirm on my transfers, gang. Oh no, comedy addict. Oh no. Guys, this is not good. This is... Oh, what is going on? Generational crash out. Generational crash out. I can't... This is not good. Not good. We've got 12 minutes to hopefully see what's up. And you want to give this up? Yes. Yes. I've never enjoyed FPL less in my life. Like, there is a real possibility that I've just captained Marmouche and he's not even starting. There's a real possibility. Wait, FPL Harry and Andy both missed it and are also crashing? What, they missed the deadline? Or they're just crashing out? I'm just crashing out, man. Like, I don't think I missed the deadline. I think I got the deadline. Arsenal team's out. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's about to get worse, guys. I'm so sorry to tell you this, but life is about to get a little bit worse. So I'm going to throw this on screen right now. I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Arsenal 11. Kepa, Zubamendi, Mascara, Hincapié, Calafiori, Norgard, MLS. So that's Lewis Skelly. Dalman, Madueke, Jesus, Martinelli. Nobody! Not one single Arsenal player. Full City rotation, full Arsenal rotation. What is the point? I started Gyökeres. I got 5 players benched. 6. Yeah, 6. 6 players benched. I managed to transfer out 2 of them. 6 players benched. Haaland, Cherky, O'Reilly, Gabriel, Saka, Gyökeres. 6. No, not even an Eza. Not even a cheeky little header. What? What are we meant to do? What are we meant to do? We got pepped. We got arteted. Stupid game. Stupid season. Just people are bench boosting this week. That's the craziest thing. Oh, people will miss the deadline. Oh my god. People are going to be playing with like 9 men this week. No Marmouche. Brilliant. Brilliant. Is that true? Enough people saying it. I believe it at this point. I believe it. Marmouche not starting. Brilliant. Should have gone for Foden. Savinho's playing. No Gahey either. No Donnarumma. So I've captained Marmouche. I've taken a -4. Give up, man. Give up. What's the point? Stupid, stupid game. Who's my vice captain? Don't even know. It's Bruno Fernandes. I didn't even want Bruno Fernandes captain. Didn't have time to change it. What? Oh my god. This is so stupid. Season's done. I'm done. Give up. Oh my god. This is a disaster. This is an absolute disaster. Ugh. And Salah was right there. Salah was right there. So 6 players benched, and then I've taken a hit to bring in a 7th player who is benched, essentially. And I'm sure a lot of you guys went for Marmouche as well. And I am so sorry about that. To be fair, I did say there was some risk at the end, but I went for it anyway. And that's on me. I took a risk. But it wasn't like... I thought it was a smart risk. I thought it was a smart risk. Felt like a smart risk. Captained him as well. You know, he's just going to come off the bench now. Whatever. What are you going to do? Is he even on the bench? I don't even know if he's on the bench. Am I sure my Moosh is bench? I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, I'm more sure than I'd like to be. No. Let's talk FPL. Andy says I probably would have done a -4 for Marmouche, so it's not a bad start. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Yash says, mate, what a season we've had. So many ups and downs. You've done exceptionally well. Thanks to you, I'm leading my mini league. Just enjoy the football. Nothing to enjoy. Actually, that's a lie. Spurs can still get relegated. I can't believe this. Yeah. That's relatable, Az. That's very relatable. Mate, this is bad. Oh, just get me to World Cup fantasy already. I'm not even going to check my. You know what? I'm not even going to check my rank today. I'm just going to. I'm obviously going to watch the football, but I'm not even going to check my rank at the end of today. I'm over it. I'll check what my rank is in a couple of days' time. Game's the game. Marmouche made sense. Was 50-50 Semenyo. Yeah. Andy rage quit his stream, poor guy. A few people saying he's rage quit his stream. Honestly, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. That, like, for him, like, he's on for, like, his best season ever. So I kind of do understand why he might be a little bit more frustrated than I am. He may have just thrown top 100, top 1K. Which I definitely understand the frustration. Like, when you're at those ranks, like, everything is 10 times more tense, I guess, because the pressure is really high. Like, sitting at 100K, less pressure, right? But it still sucks, man. It still sucks. But whatever. All Man City had to do was beat Bournemouth to avoid all of this. Yeah, I know. Well, look, I'm not complaining because it meant Arsenal won the Premier League. However, could be the worst FPL deadline of all time. Don't worry, Dan. Half your chat have done the same, including me. Yeah, good. I mean, it's misery likes company. I don't know. Chin up, buddy. You made such an impact in so many people's lives throughout the season. Yeah, look, honestly, like in actual real facts, I'm not depressed or anything like that. I'm feeling a bit dramatic because I'm an expressive person, and I don't know. It's just like give it another like minute of shock, and I will be laughing about this because this is so just stupid. Let me give Pep Guardiola a quick ring just whilst we wait for all of the team news to officially come out. Mr. Guardiola. Yes. No, I don't care. I don't care what you had for tea last night. I don't care, mate. Because quite frankly, I'm not happy with you. You've actually really annoyed me today. Because one, you bench all of the players that I have, and then you bench the player that I bring in for a -4, and you want to talk about what you had for dinner last night. Quite frankly, mate, you can go shove your bald head right up where the sun don't shine, mate, because quite frankly, me and you, we're done, and I can't wait to see the back of you. Sick of it, mate. Absolutely sick of it. So take your bald little head, go back to Spain, and I don't know, have a nap or some paella or something, because quite frankly, me and you, our friendship, done. Goodbye. -4. -4 to bring in Marmouche. Absolute state of it. Absolute state of it. Let's check out some team news. All right, well, Calvert-Lewin's starting, Strouk's starting as well. Darlow, Strouk, Calvert-Lewin. You got a good load of players there. Let's go Premier League. Hopefully they've retweeted actually. Fantasy Premier League. They retweeted. some stuff. Okay, so let's just whiz through these because I want to get out of here, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to go and have a beer or maybe something a little harder, a little stronger than that. Okay, Richarlison plays, Pedro Porro plays. So those are the key ones there. Palmer plays. João Pedro starts. Good news for João Pedro owners. Reece James and Chalobah missing. Those are the key ones there, I guess. For Brighton, Danny Welbeck plays. Pascal Gross plays. We've got Minter and Baleba on the bench. Everything else seems as expected. Verbruggen starts. Van Hecker starts. Hinchelwood starts. Gomez starts. Viper starts. I don't know if any of you guys have those players in your team. For Brentford, we've got Dango, Thiago, Sharda all starting. Vandenberg and Collins, the centre-backs. Kelleher in goal. For Aston Villa, yeah, it's pretty bad. Oh, wait, saying that, Ollie Watkins is playing. So Bizzo, no Konsa, no Rodgers. No Rodgers in the squad. Who's left back? Maatson left back. Ollie Watkins does start, though, which is interesting. That's about it. Okay. We've got pretty reasonably strong team for United. No Cunha, no Šeško. So we've got Mberma, we've got Bruno, we've got Dorgu, we've got Ahmad, Maguire, Martinez, the centre backs there as well. Luke Shaw plays for Arsenal. Gyökeres is on the bench. Saliba's not in the squad. We knew no decent Arsenal player starting, other than, we got a FPL wise. If you're a Lewis Skelly owner, a Calafiori owner, maybe, don't know. But we've got Gabriel, Saka, and Rice and Ødegaard and Eze, these guys on the bench. For Burnley, Fleming is playing, Anthony is playing. Dubravka on the bench, Vice starts in goal again. For Bournemouth, we've got Tavernier and Scott are playing, Senesi's playing, Hill's playing, Ryan's playing, Krupi's playing, Evan Nilsson's playing. It's full strength. It's full strength there. Leeds we already did. West Ham, we've got Hermanson in goal, Mavropanos playing, Bowen's playing, Tati's playing, and all of the other players you would expect. For Wolves, Mane's playing, Armstrong's playing. Don't know if anyone got anyone else, but again, pretty strong team there. Man City in the bin. Doku's on the bench. I didn't even spot that earlier. So Haaland not even on the bench. Marmoush is at least on the bench. So I'm looking forward to my 1 point Marmoush captain later. 1 times 2 is 2, to be fair. So, better than 0. Better than 0. But Haaland not even in the squad. So it is a John Stones and Ruben Dias combo. We've got Rico Lewis playing. Not even a Nunes, a Mateus Nunes. Nathan Ake is playing. Foden. Semenyo up front, man. Semenyo owners, you're about to cook. For Newcastle, the Mighty Mags, we've got Bruno G playing. No Gordon as expected. Barnes is on the bench. I thought Barnes would play. Osler's playing. Voltemada, Murphy, Ramsey. We've got Hall there. Tonali is playing. Palace have got Henderson and Munoz. What have we got here? So no Sarr. Oh, wait, Sarr's starting? That is unexpected. So basically, no Mitchell, no Lacroix, no Camvo, no Wharton, no Mateta are the key ones missing there. No Richards. We knew he had a bit of an injury. Yeah, okay. So, but Sarr's playing. I didn't expect that. And Munoz, maybe. For Everton, we've got Barry up front, no Beto. Stream deserves 1k likes, guys. That's a good point. I think the stream does deserve 1k likes. But Tarkovsky's playing and Keane is playing. Garner's playing. Dewsbury Hall and Jai is playing. No Beto, but we have got Barry. Pickford starting as well. For Nottingham Forest, we've got reasonably strong team here, I think. Gibbs, White and Anderson are playing. Woods playing. Jesus is playing. Okay. For Sunderland, Mukiele's playing. No Alderete. Alderete's on the bench. We've got Brobby, Lefay there. Xhaka's playing as well. Ruffs is playing. For Liverpool, we've got Van Dijk, Konate, Szoboszlai's playing. McAllister. Wait, Alisson's starting. I'll just go through this whole team. Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Salah, Jones, Gakpo, Robertson, Gravenberch, and Ungamoa. So no Verts, no Isak, no Kirkes. For Fulham, we've got Leno here, Diop and Bassi, Robinson, Iwobi's back in, has been for a bit, hasn't he? Bob's here, Smith Rowe. Oh man, no Wilson. Okay, no Wilson. So Muniz playing up front, no Raul, no Wilson. That's it, right? That's your lot. My word. My word. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. The FPL 2026, right, 2025-26 season is not officially done yet, but the decision making is done. The decision making is done for another season. So all I'm going to say, guys, is thank you so much for watching throughout the season this year. It has been an absolute pleasure to be able to make videos for you guys, communicate and chat with you guys in the streams and in the comments. All of your support this season has been absolutely wonderful. And even at times where I've been kind of feeling like, a bit low, a little bit down, you guys have always pulled me back up, and I massively appreciate that. This has been my 6th season making FPL content, and look, I'm enjoying it as much as the first day I started, and hoping that you guys will allow me to continue to be a little small part of your FPL live. So massive thank you and appreciation to every single one of you guys. You are legends. We will do a kind of a post-season review video in a couple of days. I hope to see you there. And then, oh my word, it is World Cup fantasy time. And mate, honestly, I'm so excited for that. Genuinely, I've already started making... The game has not even been officially released yet. And I've already started making content behind the scenes and doing research and making graphics for World Cup Fantasy. So it's going to be a big one. So looking forward to hopefully having a few of you guys join me for that as well. But that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to go and enjoy a beer in the sunshine, watch some football. I very much recommend you guys do the same unless you are under the drinking age, in which case you should not do that. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for another great season of FPL content, and for the final time in the 2025-26 season. I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.